It's recording. Let me do my notebook. Right, and I have that going. And we're ready to go. Okay, and everyone else, I don't know why everyone doesn't have their cameras on, but Sebastian, you'll text them or put a chat in there to let everybody know it's coming. Okay, we'll see how far I go. Otherwise, you guys will be doing a lot of talking. And Bobby, can you lower your camera so we can see everybody looking professional? Okay, and Ariel and Valentina and Kevin. Okay, welcome everyone. I'm excited to use this session to look at your proposals today. We're going to be concentrating on the next really month or 6 weeks on our projects of you being all AI consultants and basically teaching the community the advantages of AI, teaching the community what it can do for businesses, how it can make them more productive, effective, and also some of the shortcomings and some of the things that are not right there. One of the things that I want to make sure that you understand here is we're in the very beginning of this process of artificial intelligence and what we call Gen AI and genic AI. Basically now the new part is not even generative AI, but AI being our agents. AI is being our co-pilot. AI is working along with human beings, and we really need still our human intelligence. So when people are always asking me as an expert, they always say, it's going to take away all our jobs. Is AI now going to take over us? Is it going to rule us? And I'm telling everyone, not so quickly. There are jobs that are basically repetitive that it can take, but I see it as really an aid, and we need to use our natural intelligence. Right, Andrea, when you think about it, that's our key here. Some of the repetitive things I want AI to take, and things that, for instance, marketing or thinking about strategy, some of the things for brainstorming I think is fantastic. But we all know that it's going to still not be 100%. If it says it's 80% or 90%, for instance, people in the financial institutions are really reluctant to use recordings with, for instance, how we use our, AI companion in Zoom. I met with Zoom officials now, and they're going to be doing a lot more of the AIQ. They're going to be doing a lot more of almost avatars of ourselves, taking my video, and I basically have my avatar teaching. One of the things that I like is using the AI to be a co-professor with me, right? So you have to have it. So they're very reluctant in the financial institutions. They're very reluctant to step into it because why, Lily? They have to be 100% accurate when you make a trade, right? Or you're saying something. It can't be 90%. So it's that reluctance, but if it can do a lot of the tedious parts, it will be doing it. So we have to use still our human intelligence here. So this is why I'm just so excited about our new project, and we'll see it. So Lily, do you want to just share for a moment what you discovered in this past week?
Sure. It was actually like an hour ago. I had someone texting me pretending to be my boss that I'm working with next summer, asking me to go get gift cards for his clients. And I found it weird because I'm in Miami and my internship is in Charlotte, so I reached out to some of my associates and I asked for the boss's number and I texted him and I told him, like, hey, is this you? Like, from your work phone. I found us strange, and he said, no, my LinkedIn has been hacked, and to tell my whoever, like the person who's in charge of me for the interns, like to warn the other interns like about this. So
that is
it was all a little weird.
Yeah, but that is a classic one that you say, what are they going to do? But it's a classic one on gift cards. And they'll find out who your boss is. I got the same thing, and a number of faculty got the same things about the previous president of our university, of Dr. Frank, and it said the exact same wording. Can you please, to faculty, can you please, I'm busy at a meeting, and it would give a name of an actual person who was an assistant to the president and say, Dr. Rush, can you please go and get a gift card, an Apple gift card, no less. Rather than CVS, who wants CVS? You'd rather give me a new iPhone or something, right? An Apple gift card for the president. And I, as a wonderful faculty member, want to please my president. And of course, I laughed at it. But there are people that, it was almost that whole, anybody ever heard of that Nigerian scam, that I'm a prince or something? And you think no one would fall for it? Professors in the law school fell for that one. So, it's all the time the scams. And now it's much easier. And now it's much easier, right, to do the voice cloning. Basically to put my face in, right, and say other words. So it really is amazing. So I give Lily credit here. If I were basically her boss, I'd say at least she's not so naive that she's going to be giving away, the whole kit and caboodle. So we can see it. So it's interesting on that. And in that kind of that dual authentication that we were complaining about before. Okay, anything else? If there are other things. So what my goal today is this. I want to show you what I approve of proposals. One of the things that we set up straight, since it was spring break, I gave you on Monday to meet with your groups. You should have, and I looked at it, maybe now some of the groups didn't update, but you needed to put who attended that meeting and at least 2 proposals. And when you're going to present today, we're going to go over that quickly. When you present today, I will make the approval. I'm with you in terms of I'm in everybody's group. So I will make the proposal. But when you're presenting, I want you to tell me what is number 1 and number 2 in your mind. And I will tell you some things, just so you know, I want this to be in the way that it's real, that you actually can do it. So some of you, I think one was going to do healthcare and was going to do IBM Watson and some of the other ones. And the problem was that in our short period of time, it may not be enough. So those are issues that what you can accomplish. That's number 1, going through your proposal. Number 2, what we're going to do is I'll be giving you already talking about doing a first draft of putting your ideas down in a website. We're going to be using Wix, and I have an academic partnership with them as well, and they will be, as part of my class that I've given permission, you will get an upgrade. Rather than their free version, we will be getting their business plan version for the semester. So you'll be getting an actual domain name, and you'll be able to do collaboration with a number of students. So it's fantastic. The third thing that I'm going to do is I'm working with a number of companies here, just like when we said 1-800-CHAT-GPT. Do you remember that, Juan Carlos? What is 1-800-CHAT-GPT?
So it's like the virtual assistant, no? That you can like talk to.
Yeah, it's basically, ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
But this is basically what we call a vanity phone number of 1-800-CHAT-GPT. And ChatGPT somebody said, let's do it via phone. Have people call in. Even if your great-grandma doesn't have a smartphone, she can use it on a dumb phone, right? And anybody can then use it. So sometimes voice. So what I want us to do is everybody get phone numbers and attach bots to that, and put all of your documentation, just like we did with Notebook LM, put it to a phone number. So on your group, and what I really like is if we can get phone numbers that spell a concept. Wouldn't that be great? So we're going to try that out. And when I'm telling to a number of these AI companies, they're just floored. They said, "Oh, I wish I had a class that we actually did that rather than just, doing books and homeworks." So that's where we're going. And I think we'll start with that. So let me do this. I'm recording and I'm going to share my screen. I share as usual. And you notice I'm going to YouTube Live. That's working well, which is beautiful. And now I'm going to my content. And what do we always do in my content? Then Thomas is what? We want to look at what? What's due. So I'm going to turn off my edit mode to see the same thing that you did. So today is the 19th. And there's things in the 19th that you should have accomplished by this part. One is the final project, part 1 of your proposals. 2 is Tech Guide 3, Cloud Computing, the adaptive assignment of cloud computing. And now even cloud computing that we've discussed already will get more formal. And next week I'll go more into depth about cloud computing. But what do you think, Thomas? Cloud computing, then it's going to get more AI into it, right? It's not just storing to the cloud, but AI is going to be involved quite a bit. And a lot of my AI, of my computing, I can do in the cloud. So that's for this week today, and I'm going to go over that. And the other part is next week. Isn't this great? Of course, our next chapter will be artificial intelligence, more formal. I'll be giving you also next week additional articles because guess what? If this book was even, let's say, 6 months old, Thomas, it would be outdated already. The concepts are important, right? The idea, what I want to make sure that you emphasize is even in Notebook LM or in any of our chats, the idea it absorbs that information. But what I would like is for the bots, the AI, to learn, right? So in the Notebook LM, remember, Thomas, that you could join?
Yes.
That's just the beginning. What we're seeing, Thomas, what's so exciting is we're seeing almost like the beginning of a new process. We're seeing it, 5 years from now, you say, "Oh, I remember you'll be able, or 10 years ago, 10 or 15 or 20 years from now, you'll be able to tell your children, Thomas, I was in the beginning of AI," right? In the beginning, Notebook LM, you could join, but it didn't get any smarter, right? It couldn't learn from me. So I want to start looking at it, and my goal is to say machine learning, that when I say something, it should learn. So I'm even thinking to do a chatbot of myself in office hours, so 24/7 students can get a hold of me from my bot, and then when the bot doesn't know the answer, it would then contact me and say, "Dr. Rush, can you get on the call here with Thomas? He's not understanding this." And then when I explain it, then I would think it would do from voice to text and then put it into the system. So the next time, Thomas, someone else comes with that question, it's already basically in its mode to learn. You understand that? And now it's not learning as well as we want, but that's the whole idea, is that it keeps on, just like us, right? When you make mistakes in the class, now when you do it again, right, what's the idea of a human is that when you make mistakes, you correct it. So that's the area in which we want to do. So we're going to do the artificial intelligence and the quizzes. I'll give you next week additional readings for it. But in this case, for next part, under the assignments, we'll be doing Wix and the upgrade. So in this case, it says assignment instruction, final project, upgrade to Wix and collaborate. How can I get, Thomas, where can I find these instructions, you think?
Under audit.
So let's go and see if this is correct. So under audit, and I'm checking myself, right? It says upgrade, Wix, and collaborate. So what we want to do for next Wednesday is to upgrade Wix. Once you get approval from me, upgrade, and we're going to have a code that we can upgrade to we don't have to pay to, but to upgrade to the business version. You'll be able to invite all team members to the project site after upgrading. Be competent and showcase your AI tools, include a mission statement, service, AI generate, research, explore, and the outcome, and then launch a live website representing the project's objectives. That'll be that part 2, and then we'll upgrade again where we'll get a clever domain name, Thomas, and hopefully we'll get a phone number that maybe can spell, if we're lucky, right? To spell some kind of concept that we're having, so we can do branding and we can be high on the search engine objectives. Then we'll be adding, just so you know, then we'll be adding then that phone number and adding a bot to that phone number and making that bot learn. And then when people are on your website, Thomas, they can click on the number and hear about you. Then you can also what? Add a podcast to it. You know how to do that. You already have it. And then we'll also do another chatbot. We'll have another of my academic partnerships from London come in the first week of April and give us an upgrade to his product. So how does that sound? Thomas?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I think that's going to work.
I do. And of course, Thomas, there's going to be issues, right? We know it. What do? We take a deep breath, document it, and try to find solutions. And at least, what do I always say is, I'm not going to hold you against if something didn't work, but I'm going to hold you against if you didn't try to find a solution and at least in the first thing document it. So we'll upgrade to Wix, and later on here, we'll create that upgrade to the site and edit it. And can you do me a favor, Sebastian? I think he put it in the PowerPoints. Put a note to Daniel that I think in this part, put in the code here as well. You understand what they need to upgrade? Because he doesn't say open the browser, he tells it what to do with Wix. Because what you need to do, if I look on that audit, is he's put it into PowerPoint and documents. And I think once you understand that, Sebastian, it's in so many different places. Don't you agree? It gets confusing. Do you agree with? Yeah.
So you want it to be in the assignment?
I think you decide where it should be, but I think it's too many places that students need to go. What do you think, Sebastian?
I think the best is just to put into the assignment.
Okay.
Pressure.
You understand? So this idea here, you see this where it says 100% discount code right here. There'll be one person per, in the group that'll put in this discount code. It's in here too, you know what I mean? It's telling us we can leave it here, but after a while, students are trying to find it out, or you can change it, you know what I mean? But you can, but decide with Daniel, before the end, where you want that discount code, and we want to, and in this case too, right here, Sebastian, change this. You can do this now. Go in and edit. Change this to just say, I want business. I don't want core. I don't want light. I want them to do it for business.
Okay.
Yeah, just do that. Eliminate core, light, and business for each of my sections. So this point will be in business. And it expires, she says it expires 5/31/25. I don't know if that means in order to enter it, I'm assuming. I think we'll be able to have it for a year, but here it's at least till the end of May. And here's an example if you want to turn off the auto renewal part. Okay, does that make sense, Sebastian? Because I want to
So
give you,
you only want business.
yes, I only want business.
All right, I just
Yeah, so only have business and put that in other places where we're giving them the audit assignment in here. Put that, I would put it here too of, what we want. Is it that it be in the upgrade PDF as well, business, and here business, and put it in the assignment where the code is. Because I think people will be running around saying, what's the code I need? You agree?
correct. I agree.
Okay, good. And notice when I say, do you agree? You know me well enough that you don't have to agree with me, right, Sebastian? I want your human intelligence, right? To tell me, no, I disagree. This is going to be better for the students.
Yeah, don't worry. I just texted Danny. I'm gonna tell him to put it for sure in the assignment instruction.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should also put it right there where you're signaling right now.
Yeah, but decide and make it consistent, that the students then know where to get the code, you know what I mean? And of course, it's only for we have limited codes, so we don't want to have anyone abuse it, and it's only for our students, because they check to see against our roles if our students are doing that as well, okay? So we have that. Okay. So I think what I'd like to do then is once I've approved the proposals, I'll go more into detail about it with you, but let's see what the proposals are, and then if you just enter Wix, you can put in your email, and then just one person in your group will use their credit card, but you will not be charged. And what's important when you're upgrading, important to see when you are upgrading that you put in the code and you do not pay for it. So some of you after this class may try it out, and if the code is not working, let Sebastian and myself know, because you should have zero amount. I do not want, and if you want to let everyone know that, Sebastian, I don't want anyone paying for that in this class. Later on, if you want to do it, but there shouldn't be, I think you guys, if I can give you free upgrades, it's my pleasure. Okay, questions? Anything in the chat? Sebastian, are you reviewing the chat here? I didn't even ask people here. We should have some people here.
Yeah, nothing in the chat.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's go to the audit section. Now in the audit section by the way, this was Daniel's from last semester. He'll change it. Notice this is his regular URL, right? What did he do here? And we're adding a lot more than we did even last semester, which is great. But if I put in his link, this is what Daniel did. And notice when you're even in, what I'll have you do, when you're even using Gen AI, when you look at this, it's Gen AI. It's almost like, how do we know that? Later on, it'll get better that we won't even know it's Gen AI. But when you do, I don't mind you using it, but give credit to where it was generated, and it almost gives you more credibility too, and here it was talking about, his home, about them, their team, and this was also from. You can see that it was from generated by AI, the free offerings. I'll be asking you to do videos, and this one was Claude versus Grad versus live information demo, Chat GPT analysis. These were some videos he did, frequently asked questions that occur, so you can play around and get better and better about this. But this was part of your ways. Okay, so what I'd like to do then is group 1. So in group, and then if you went to group 0, this is under your final project, under proposals. Then I wanted to see who attended your meeting. From now on, everyone is required to make full effort into your groups. If you are not wanting to participate, I suggest you drop the course. I think there's still time up to April. I don't know what the exact date is to drop the course, because now I am not going to even ask. I just assume everybody's going to give full effort and however it is to be on time. So in this case, are on proposals you should have. So let's start then going back to assignments, and let's start with group 1 under final project, under proposals, and this is what I should see. So who wants to present? Unmic yourself, and who wants to present the proposals for this group? Let me know. So it's with you, Thomas. Do you want to start? And then look at your group, text your group, and say who's going to do the presentation. I want you to succinctly, I'm going to go through every group. I'll give you feedback, and once you hear the feedback that I give to one group, it's going to be the same type of feedback I will give you all of them. So what I want you to do is present quickly. What are the 2 proposals? Which one do you prefer over the other? And then I will chime in.
Okay, sure. So for our group, we essentially had these 2 proposals, and the premise of our project is essentially having this, instead of having like an actual realtor or a property assistant that would help you in real estate, we would actually just have like an AI platform that would help you, sort of like a real estate AI assistant. And so using products like ChatGPT, Matterport, and Reonomy, you'd be able to, again, using the AI chatbot, you could be able to navigate the actual room virtually. That's the actual Matterport platform that we're talking about. And then Reonomy actually just looks at a map, sort of like Zillow, and points like real estate insights in terms of maybe the purchasing price, like trends within a certain neighborhood, or of price fluctuations, those sorts of things. And so it's essentially we're kind of just streamlining the process for people to buy, if they were to buy homes.
So this is, who's your focus?
Sorry?
Who's your audience?
People that are trying to buy real estate. It can be families, with duplexes, or it can be individuals with apartments or condos.
Okay.
Essentially, we're just trying to bypass like realtors, essentially.
Okay. And what's proposal 2?
Proposal 2, yeah, if you can scroll down, it's pretty similar, except we would also be having Notebook LM instead of ChatGPT mainly. That's a predominant feature, where you could actually have like a communication with the actual platform instead of just typing or ChatGPT input. You could actually have sort of conversations with these AI bots within Notebook LM that could give you insights within your specific community and how much you should be pricing your house for if you were to put it up for sale.
And how would you know that? Okay. And what is who has experience with Matterport in your group?
I mean, I think we're all just amateurs and just getting started. But again, it could be part of our report is that
Okay.
How user friendly it is and how accessible it is for us to use too, right?
Okay. All right. This is for everyone. I narrowed this proposals down, and I think it's it's too much. And either what I would do is one is say maybe that you could. And how many people in your group?
4 in total.
Okay, four in total. There may be like you may decide to do it one for the end user for the one, and one could be looking at it for, let's say, the real estate brokers of the real estate. So let me give you an example. One is I see it as almost open AI house. So when I'm doing an open house, they could broadcast live, have the real realtor be in the house, and have somebody in your groups, besides what I'm saying, they can also take notes on it, and then have it, then be able to promote it of open houses, live open houses. So not only do I have let's say you're a realtor, you can then go work with realtors, come in, help them when they had open houses, even get interns to help them, broadcast that live, and when they had a real customer come in, as they're even explaining it, they'll have others on the web seeing it. And they could even have individuals, rather than doing just like a FaceTime, they could broadcast it and get SEO. Or it could be in terms of, I wouldn't focus in on something like Matterport, because I think soon that's going to be outdated. It's expensive. So I would look at what you guys can do for the real estate, and the ideas maybe of doing real estate data analysis, unless you found an actual program that could do that, that you can incorporate, that would be way beyond the scope of what we can do in 4 weeks. So I would not even just do like that notebook at LM, but maybe make things easier for the brokers, maybe easier for the buyers, and do something like that. And I take out the Matterport part and put in more of what you could actually help other users. It may be in terms of maybe marketing for the end users, or for the end user, and also for the realtors or the brokers. I think
Okay.
there's.
What do you think about maybe like a platform where like AI could essentially be coordinating between the property owner and the actual like
Something like that.
potential clients
Yes.
and
Right.
schedule bookings and those
Right,
sorts of
right.
things? Is that a good
Yes. Yes.
idea? Okay.
Something more. Think about it as this is real. And then you could go to actual realtors and say, hey, is this something that you could use? We can provide you this. And in the beginning, we'll provide you, and then we'll give it over to you. And if they even want to, we'll give you, if you don't want to continue, you could give them your website. Your domain name is going to be yours for at least since May 31st. You could sell the whole kit and caboodle and say, you take it on. So think of it as more realistic.
Okay.
What you could go to a realtor and say, we can help you with this. We can help you maybe in emails. We can help you get closer to your clients, or your clients can get closer to what's available. We can do some of the things. We can stream live your open houses. You got it?
Yep.
What do
All
you
right.
think? And then redo it, and like proposal 3, and then I'll sign off on it, that we can set it, because this is going to be more important than starting with a website. You understand? If our proposal, everybody understand that if our proposal isn't good enough, then we'll have enough hallucinations, and somebody said, well, can you do that for me? And what are you going to tell them, Thomas? No, I have no clue how to do that. But rather, can you stream live for me, right? Can you basically connect? Can you help me with correcting my emails or helping with marketing or something like that to help me with that of real actual parts there? Do you understand why I'm doing it? Because this, real estate data analysis is in a whole, years of working with that. You maybe can, combine, you can make a platform. These are houses near the university, and we're going to connect, interns to helping brokers or something. Within, we're going to start with this university community that we want. And later on, when we spread out, we'll do it to each university. Think about your advantage of being students. You're not going to hide the fact, but you're professionals on that. You understand? You're not trying to be a real estate, with 30 years of experience. But you'll help realtors maybe with 30 years of experience, but they don't know the new technology. They have no idea how to stream. They have no idea how to do a webinar on Zoom, right? Or some of the things that you have. Okay? Does that make sense, Thomas? So what did you learn from that? So let's summarize. What did you...
Basically just make it more simple. It doesn't need to be this large of a project.
Make it real.
It could be, okay. Could it be something like maybe after an open, actually booking open housing between property owner and customer, and then
and streaming
follow up, automized follow up,
right? And streaming it,
potential,
and teaching them how to stream it, right? Or even beforehand, or streaming other people coming in. Some people may be coming into maybe preview of the houses beforehand, and then stream it live to YouTube, something like that. And then basically helping them with the SEO and some of the other marketing. Yeah. Things that you guys can actually do. That's where you have to re-look at, rather than my aspirations. That maybe sometime in 10 years I could do that. Maybe.
Okay. All right.
Great.
That makes more sense.
And then all of you are comfortable with it. Then it becomes all fuzzy anyways. I'm not sure how that's supposed to work. Matterport, that's $1,000. I think that Matterport's going to go up, when you're going to have AI on your phones and other things, that company, it may even be out of an existence. You know what I mean? Of doing it. Probably AI can do a lot of that thing that those cameras can do. Okay, great. Group 2. Briggs, Matthew, and Jonathan. Who's going to tell me? Sebastian, are they here?
Yeah, I could tell you about it.
Okay. Who's speaking?
Briggs.
Okay. So what do we got?
So the first one is a marketing company that helps smaller businesses and startups market their products and business.
Okay.
So the tools, the AI products that we decided to use would be Canva AI, ChatGPT, and Surfer SEO.
Okay. And what are you going to do for the business? So I would start out help businesses and our users. What does that mean on our users?
The people using our company. Our service.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? So who are these small businesses? Is it in a certain sector? Is it restaurants? Did you get an idea? So that has to be defined more. Am I doing a market easy? And what are you going to, I'm a business, what problem are you going to try to solve for me?
If you have a smaller budget, it can help you make different logos or advertisements using Canva AI and.
Okay, so that needs to be. So I like this, but it has to be, and you can even have ChatGPT or the others help you rewrite this. Of who is your audience? You understand, Briggs?
Yeah.
And what do you want to do for them? What is their problem and what do you want to do for them?
And then the second one is called AI Career Assist. So basically, it just helps. It's designed for college students and recent graduates who are still looking for jobs, and it's helpful for people who are seeking internships or full-time job opportunities.
Okay,
So we use like ChatGPT, Canva AI,
okay.
Interview Warrant by Google.
And which one do you like better?
I like them both, but I think the AI Career Assist is better.
I do too, because you can use it. So I like whatever you know that you can add to I like better. Everybody hearing me? I like number 2 better. And what I like, and then you can think about it, is then you can even invite professionals or recruiters to come in. Write this down, Briggs, in your group, is they can come in and you can give a Zoom, right? They can come in through Zoom and they can tell you, you can work with the Career Center, you can work with other recruiters, and then they can tell you what are they looking for. Is this for internships or is this for jobs?
It could be used for both.
Okay, so I would choose one of those. I would even start with internships. You know, make it focused and interns, and then you could have professionals come in and tell you what they were looking for, and then you could give them, they could even give you like small tasks to do. Or they can help you. You can even say, what kind of gen tools do you want to work on? And we can do even projects for you. It doesn't have to be a whole internship. It could even be a micro internship. Do you understand that, Briggs? Rewrite that, and I like that one. Are you interested in an internship, Briggs?
I am.
Right. So let's do that. And then you could get the top jobs and then give the others out, right? You can get a bunch of students come in and tell them how should they do, basically how should they prepare, right, Lily? You could even say, how are you going to, there's so many different avenues you can give them. You can do interviewing skills. You can even use ChatGPT and other helping them do the interview. Tools to help the students prepare for the internships and even then you can get, hey, we got interns, we know what it is, and come and talk about your jobs to us. And we'll find a good match. Do you understand? It's the same thing when I was telling Tom, I want everybody to do a project that you know about, that you're going to be excited about and that you could do, rather than this, hey, theoretical that you're going to have to impress somebody that you're the big finance expert, which you're not. But you know what a student wants, and you know what students are, and you know what basically needing to do it. And then you can even invite these people. And how could you invite them around the whole world? They could come in. Maybe you want to do an internship in Europe. Invite those guys, right? You know how, and you could say, I'm going to stream it live. And then you could even do it for this university. And then maybe you could expand it to other universities, or you can make it generic, right? Or you could do it certain majors. Business majors or finance majors, accounting majors. Is this starting to make sense? So even when I'm doing this with you, everybody's starting to understand it. Fantastic. Okay, that's group 1, group 2, group 3. We're going to go quickly on this. Group 3, tell me. Final project. By the way, no one here is a server, a waiter, a waitress. So we all have last names. So even though you have Ariel, Zach, G, and Sophia, anyone else doing that, put your last names, okay? All right. Next, who's going to be speaking for your group?
Gia.
Gia. Okay. So what's the first one?
The first one is like a tutoring service using ChatGPT, Notebook LM, and QChat.
And who's it for? Who's your audience?
It could be offered at schools for like additional support or just like one-on-one tutoring.
Okay. So this is what I like, this idea, because what? You could use it. I would focus and put notes there. of your other people that are here is I wanted to focus in on its university students, because you're a university, right, Gia? And I would focus in maybe in the beginning of certain classes even. Maybe business, about maybe start off as examples of the more tough classes. And then what I would do is some of these that could help, then what are you going to be doing? Is the services, are you going to be then teaching students how to use these AI services, or you're going to be tutoring based on certain subject areas?
We were thinking like tutoring based off certain subject areas.
Okay, but I would combine it then. I would have like two parts. One is teaching them the tools,
Okay.
and then the other one is we're going to focus in on, let's say, our example is using, you can have like two examples of two subject areas or something. And then show how these tools could help you like study for exams. Almost teaching them how to fish rather than having physical tutors, because then they can go like to a career center or a tutoring center.
Yeah.
And what's the second one?
For the second one, we were thinking of like using AI for mental health services just to make them more like efficient and stuff like that. So then we use
For whom? I like this one. Sophia, I like this one too. But I would make it, and this is for other groups too, and I don't mind other groups to copy the ideas of other ones. So there could be several ones doing learning, there could be several ones doing real estate, there could be several ones doing mental health. I would concentrate on mental health for university students and mental health to see how some of these basically AI tools can help. And then there may be a part in which you can also do it. We can maybe work in groups. Maybe I'm lonely, and some of these could also maybe work with peers, like peer advising peers and with AI together. And now they've done a number of studies, Sophia, that compared to even counselors, a lot of people think AI tools are more empathetic than actual people. So it can be working together. It's still maybe not enough, but it's so hard to get a counselor. You know, it's a waiting line of months. So it may be working together. Or when you see a counselor once a week, what are you going to do every other day when you're stressed? So I would do it maybe on how to use some of these tools for mental health. And then you could focus in on the universities, since you know universities, and you could even make a subset of that. You know, is it anxiety? Is it loneliness? You guys know, you know what I mean, what students are facing, and do it that way. I give you the permission to do either one. Great. But you'll just need to sign, I needed to sign off on it. I approve both. Okay, what's the next group? So group 4, final project. So who's going to tell me about this? Let's go.
Sure, I'll go ahead and do proposal 1.
Okay, Henry.
Is your screen shared or should I share mine?
I'm sharing mine. Do you see it?
Oh, okay. So ours is a marketing oriented one, and basically our goal is to use AI to provide like marketing campaign solutions at a lower cost. So rather than having a bunch of people develop, research, and then create a marketing campaign, AI does it for you.
Okay.
And like the main benefit of that would just be like a lot less money you're spending.
Right. So I would focus, Henry, on this. I like it. I would focus maybe on small businesses.
Okay.
And maybe within those small businesses, something that you know or some some type of group of businesses you want, but small businesses that can't afford other agencies or something like that, marketing campaigns, and give scenarios on how you could help them. Almost make scenarios of it. What's the second one?
I'll present the second one. The second one was Health Gen
Yeah.
and basically what we did throughout this is using AI to basically improve the health industry,
Yeah.
both making it less expensive.
Yeah.
Because one of the leading parts of the health industry that makes everything so expensive is anytime you get like an MRI or an X-ray or something like that done, it costs money to have that doctor looking at it.
I know.
So now you're able to have AI to
Yeah.
program it
Yeah.
and just automatically do it by itself and
Okay.
take out a lot of the human side.
Yeah, okay. Kevin, I teach doctors about this, so it's really needed. But are you in healthcare, Kevin?
No, I'm a finance and business major.
Okay.
But I like to see how the business side can actually.
Yeah, no, it definitely is needed, and they're really struggling with it, and it needs it. But for our class, it's too big. You understand that, Kevin? In the way that IBM wants in health is pretty complicated. It's not so easy to get that free version, specialized workflow. We don't have access to those workflows. It could be like a paper, you know what I mean, and next step on it. So I like, just because of that, and we don't have physicians in our class, which I teach in health informatics, sometimes a course similar to this, Kevin, where I'll have actual physicians, like urologists, GI people, and they'll be with part of the class and they'll talk about it, So I would go with number one. But then basically what you may want to do, if you want to do it, you may want to, if you like the health industry, it may be for small doctors' offices, what they could use in terms of marketing. You could use that scenario if you really like that part, and helping them get closer to their patients and things like that. You got it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You understand? Because we're not in a position to even do it. I work with on that, and they're not in even a position to do it. You understand? They're in such a beginning stage, and I'm working with a lot. And the problem is it makes a lot of mistakes still. You have to train it to do radiology, to do pathology. It basically in some, in NYU and other places, and the Mayo Institute, they're doing it as it's not regular practice, but they're having it. So it's too much for our proposals, but it's a good one. I give you credit. Was that your idea, Kevin?
Yes, it was.
It's a great idea, but it's too much for our 6. You understand? For our 5 week. Later on, if you want to get into it and want to do some additional research, you can see me afterwards, and you know what I mean. I can hook you up with a number of things, but it's way too much for our project. Okay, group 5. Let's go. But does everybody understand where I'm going with this? I want you understand that, Kevin, that you can actually do it. You can actually you could go out to companies and say, hey, is this something that you would like? You're not in a point, that's what if you're really, go to a real estate company, those that are doing it, see, is this something that you would like? What part are you having problems with? We'll have you, we'll do it for you almost, if you want to take this project, Okay, proposal, Zach, sure. So let's do this quickly. We got proposal.
Okay, I'm doing the first one.
Okay, it's proposal 2 your favorite?
Yeah, I'll do proposal 2, sure.
Okay.
So our main idea is we're targeting small businesses to help train their employees. We feel like there's a problem where small businesses don't have the ability to allocate people to help employee training because they're small and they just
to train them for what? To do what?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure how we decided that. Things like.
Okay, but so you have to, maybe what you could do is train employees about AI. How to use AI in their company. You understand that, Zach? Because to train them to do what? To wash the floor, train them to use an Excel spreadsheet?
The other thing.
Yeah.
we were thinking about it could train them for like cashiers or people working at grocery stores. It can train layout of the grocery store, how to use the like.
I'd flip it right
that
now,
they have.
but do you know how to? I'd flip it what you can give them. You understand? Are you in the grocery business? I'm not in the grocery business. Are you, Christian? No, right? I can assume that. You have a father that's in the grocery business? I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? For right now, Christian, what I can do if you want to train employees, I train employees on AI. Do they know about Notebook LM? No, but in a way in which that's what companies are now doing. I was in a conference where they had a half-day workshop on tell you about AI, what AI can do, and what I thought it was so weak. They were charging like $800, $1,000 just to tell you generic stuff about AI, and they had like 15 minutes of a workshop on what to do. What I do is almost workshops for training employees about AI, and this is our agenda, what we're going to teach. Notebook LM, whatever, blah, blah, blah. A number of things on how they can use, Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT, how to use it for emails and other things. Do you understand, Christian? And then you can take it generic to all the companies and say, hey, do your companies know that? What's the second one?
So our second one is image and website generation for companies. So this would be for non-digitized companies. So things like maybe your pizzeria doesn't have a website or other small businesses like that. And it gives them the opportunity to we'll create a website for them, and we can create a phone line so that people can call them. So it's really like focused kind of at smaller restaurants or smaller like boutique shops that don't have the time to make a website.
So you can do almost our project, do it for businesses. Flip it around. We'll do for you a podcast. We'll do for you a website. Using Wix, we can use the AI with Wix, and we'll do blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
So I would do either one of those, but do of the skills you know.
Okay.
Your Gen AI, do you understand that, Zach? You're basically teach them of what you know. And a lot of people don't know that, right? And if we'll create then a website, we'll create then a podcast, we'll create a telephone number for you, we'll create a chat bot. We'll give you an example of how to do it. Okay. You choose which one, and I approve. But it focused in there. Okay. Group 6. Mark, Kevin, and Janelle. What are we doing here? Voice assignment. What do I have here? Am I in the wrong place or what? Group 6. I guess I went to the wrong one. They don't have a project? A final project?
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
Yeah, I saw it. Okay, what are we doing? Consulting, filing. So this is to whom? The first one is to who's my audience?
First one is catering towards influencers, whether they're small or larger influencers, and it's catering them if they want to strengthen their fan base or their audience engagement. So that's why it's also called by
Okay, and proposal. And proposal 2 is to who?
So that's specifically towards companies who are trying to hire accurately when it comes to applicants, the most strategic and qualified applicants for their company.
Okay. Proposal 2 I do on the reverse of I'm the university student, almost like I was saying before, and matching me to a job rather than going to a company and matching them. So I like number 1, or I like number 2 if it'll be like university students to a job or university students to an internship.
So you would prefer us to rather than cater towards companies, just like individuals again?
No, universities.
Oh, universities.
University students that are looking for jobs. And then you can
Okay.
invite in potential recruiters or potential people that are coming in, because that's who you know well, right? You know what a student wants to do, not what that's like Indeed or something. You're not going to be the Indeed, but you know university students. Indeed isn't going to know university students looking for a job. Reverse it. Are you not understanding me?
Yeah, I understand.
That's what I like. So I do number 2 because not everybody's an influencer, but everybody's in your group is a student, right, child?
Yeah. So would you prefer us to do the second proposal?
Yes.
That
But the
more-
second proposal versus students looking for wanting to get jobs or students looking for internships. And maybe what year are you?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm a sophomore.
sophomore, so maybe internships.
Yeah. Would
That's-
you want us to change, like tweak the proposal before you approve it?
You can, I approve it, if you could do that, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Group 7. Who's in my group 7? Is group 7 here? Or I'll move on. Final project.
I'm here. I don't have my group mates, but I can do it myself.
Okay, who's your group? Who are you?
It's Ariel talking.
Okay, Ariel. One of the things is you need to put the names of who decided this, Ariel.
Oh, I apologize.
Right, well, it was listed, right, as the thing, so you need to put in, so this is not complete, you need to put in who everyone was in the group, right, for your proposal. I have no idea who this is, right, so what are you doing? One is AI small efficiency, so who's my business? What are you gonna try, what's the problem, what are you gonna try to solve?
Okay, so for proposal number 1 and 2, we were very inspired by Uber, where they don't have a lot of knowledge about the actual concepts, but they are behind the technology, similar to, I guess, what everyone else did.
Yeah.
So for concept number 1, the Smart Scale, it's a consulting and it offers training programs and workshops. Therefore, like, if you sign up, it will give you a bunch of different workouts to do. And it is, the AI part is plugged in with a bunch of information based on the BMI scale. And you plug in basically a bunch of different things that you do in a day. So, are you active? Are you moderately active? Do you not work out at all? How tall are you?
So is this for fitness? Am I in the wrong
Yes.
one?
It's fitness.
Where does it say fitness here?
Smart Scale AI. And it
Okay,
offers-
okay, because it says empower small businesses,
Yes. So
but I
once
thought
you-
it's fitness. Okay, among the two, Ariel, I like number 1 rather than number 2.
Okay, so want me to focus mainly on number 1?
Focus mainly on number 1, get your group to do this, and focus on number 1 and focus specifically, how are you going, this is gonna be fitness? Fitness,
So when
but
we
is
say
it gonna
small
be,
businesses,
yeah, what does
sorry.
it mean, small business groups?
Small businesses is basically a bunch of different gyms that have specific like trainers per gym.
Oh, okay, so say that
Exactly.
they're gyms, okay?
Yeah.
So this
And-
is, this is for the gym owners, or this is for the people that work out?
What do you mean?
So you have to be
For
specific.
people who work out. To minimize the amount of
So you're but you're gonna help their users work out?
Yes. So
Okay.
in a sense, it's not really helping the gym because we are taking away clients
Yeah.
from them.
Okay, so I would make it even, if it's not for small business, maybe just for end users, and they can subscribe to you and go to
Okay.
the end users.
Are you familiar with like the workout mirrors?
Yeah.
Where
Mhm.
yes, so like we were inspired by that.
Okay, I would focus in on that and who it is. Okay, and then I approve
I'll
that.
make note of that. And
Okay. All right. What group are you then in? What number?
Oh, group 7.
7. Okay. 8 is Juan, Pavi, Soren, Lily. Okay, and 8, if I look, final project, I need to know who it was. Okay, proposal. So 1 is a service, APX tutoring, and what is proposal 2? Precinct grant. Wait a minute. Okay, I like both of them. You guys can, it's similar to what we talked about before. You choose. You got it?
Thank you.
But you choose. What you can use is maybe in that way of AI tutoring. You know, that everybody can appreciate it. Okay, this is group what? What was that group?
Group 8.
Group 8. And group 9, how many groups do I have here? 10 or I have 10. Okay, 9 is what? Final project 9. Okay. Proposal 2 is your favorite? So proposal 2 is to do what? Who is in this group? We got to go quickly.
Is this group 9?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's us.
So,
Proposal 2, yeah, so that's K&I solutions. So it's pretty much like helping employees and like businesses navigate through AI in the business world. So it like teaches like new like employees how to make their business better by like using AI and stuff.
okay, and what's the second one?
The second one's Insight. We actually have 3. Then it's Insightful AI. So it's like more of like marketing strategies
Okay.
and customer service
Okay.
optimization.
And what's
And
the third one?
The third one's kind of similar to the one I just said, but it involves like retail and it like focuses on like customer service and managing like your inventory and stuff.
Okay, which one do you like the best?
I like K9 AI.
I do too.
Okay.
Go for it, but make it more specific of what are you going to teach them? Are you going to be
Okay.
teaching? Maybe you'll do like webinars teaching them.
Right, yeah.
I think that'll be good. It's almost that you can make it as you're teaching them. These are webinars
Okay.
that we're going to give. This is a sample of the webinars that we have. These are examples of how we're going to teach your people.
Okay.
And then show examples of how to do it. Okay? Group 10. This is my last one. Sam or Thomas Owens, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay.
So the first one I had was like to find a job.
Okay.
Basically, it's the same thing, help with resume and
Right,
job
right.
application.
And the second?
And then the second one was just a marketing, like helping small businesses
Okay. So I
decide
like,
how to do the
okay,
marketing.
so Thomas, I like number 1 because then it can help you.
Me too.
Okay, so focus on more what you're going to do and how you're going to help these people. And is it giving webinars? Is it trying to teach them how to do it? Is it basically, I like number 1 because everybody in the group can appreciate it and learn something from it. Okay. So what did you learn from this, Thomas? So Zach, what did you learn from this? From my thinking? Zach?
There's 2 Zachs, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but you,
All right, sure.
Zach K.
For our group personally, for me, I learned that this project isn't like super big scale. We want to focus on small businesses, things like that.
What you can do, basically,
Yeah.
bottom line, rather than, theory, right? A lot of these other ideas are great to write a paper about, a case study, but you could never do it. What I want is at the end you could go to a business or you could go to a recruiter, you could go to a small business. This is what I have. Are you interested in this? We can do it for you. That's it. That you actually could basically after a while charge for it. I would pay you to do some of that. I need a resume. Help me with my LinkedIn. Help me, using AI. Help me, build my resume, Bring in recruiters and you know how to stream, right? You could create a webinar, right? You could even do it worldwide, helping students or internships or whatever. Do you understand? Of really what you guys can do. And then you learn more things rather than just the Notebook LM and you get it more sophisticated. Look at other ones, or even what we have, what we'll do for my website, we can do for others. We can put in a podcast, we can put in a phone number, we can do a chat bot. Do you want it for yours? You got it, Soren? That's what's exciting about it, isn't it? Rather than me getting stuck, I have no idea what real estate analysis is. It's like I need some PhDs to help me. But you actually can do social media. You can do better than me, right? You don't need but it's the idea you can promote. Everybody ready? So the next thing, what I want you to do is you can even for Monday, between now and Monday, rewrite your proposals in a way and even have like ChatGPTs and others present that proposal that it makes more sense. What problem am I trying to solve? What kind of ways and even ask them, have it almost brainstorm with you. How can it help me? And then upload it and say, finalize proposal, approved by Dr. Rush. And then once you have that, then take it to the next level. We'll talk about it on Monday, but take it and try out Wix. Even Wix, you can try it out on the fly, but you can upgrade with that business number. Don't get a domain name yet, and then play around. They have an AI within it. The problem with their AI, it's so generic that you have to rewrite too. You can use their templates, but try out their AI. See how their AI works, but then proceed. Questions? How did that work out, Sophia? Yes, Lily. Question.
So when we're presenting on Monday, like our revised proposal, you only want us to present the one that you approved,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we can just...
Right, and some of it you don't even have to, but make it more succinct. And make it more that people can say, what problem are you trying to solve and how am I going to solve it? Maybe I'm going to teach these companies of all these products and incorporate them with them, right?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And make it a proposal so we can move on to the next step of doing. And it's required to put everybody's first name, their last name. We're not waitresses, right? Hi, my name is Mary, We all have first and last names that we can proceed. Does that make sense, Jasper? You're happy with this?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and then make it real. You know what I mean? And then, and your ideas, hey, I want to learn something beyond Notebook LM, right? And then find something similar to that. But even this, how would you teach? How's that going to work with companies? How's it useful besides studying for an exam? If you're tutoring, I can see the Notebook LM, but the Notebook LM can have other aspects to it. They can have a podcast. They can join in, right? And then you can respond, okay? And then play around with Wix and see if the one person needs to sign in and see if that code works. Okay, Sebastian, anything else?
No, Professor, I think if anyone has any questions about the projects, just message me.
Yeah, so Sebastian is the greatest, right? When we're there, let me promote you. So Sebastian, can you get the attendance key? Everybody can get attendance. And stay with me afterwards if you have any issues with it. But I think now everybody kind of understands that idea that we want to make it real. Do you see that, Alec, that you want to make it in a way that you can actually understand it and give a service? And you're also learning these skills that you can even show it to other people and say, hey, this is what we got. start, check in. What are you doing? You don't need it. Okay. And then, okay, great. 3745. Okay. So if you finished logging in, I'll see you on Monday. Let's go ahead and do the others. We'll do with try out the Wix with your proposals. I'll finalize it on Monday with everybody's proposals, and then we'll get going. It'll be great. And Lily, heads up, don't answer any more emails with scams. But that'd be great. Take snapshots of all of that, and you can use it.
Yeah. No, I thought it was fishy, so.
What?
Yeah. I thought it was fishy anyway.
Yeah,
so.
no, but it's perfect. You got the natural inclinations, right?
Yeah.
And the AI should be able to spot it. But later on, they're going to be much more tricky. That is a simple one to find out. And if they start getting, your boss's voice and your boss's video and telling you stuff, and not getting something like CBS, from Charlotte, it's just a stupid one.
Yeah.
Later on, me and you could come up with a better scam than that.
They actually asked me for an Apple gift card too, like get the
they
highest
did?
one. They
Right,
said, yeah,
right,
which
right.
I found funny that they asked you that too.
Right. No, that's a standard one. And doesn't it sound good? I want an Apple gift card too. Right.
Yeah, Apple's like too expensive in my opinion. So
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, give me an Apple gift card, right? I'm not giving anybody an Apple gift card. Okay. All right. So if you could
have a good weekend.
Yeah, if you could stop sharing, Sebastian, and just put it in the chat, Sebastian.
All right, I'll do that.
Anybody not doing it. Okay, guys.
Hey, Doctor.
Yeah.
We have a question.
Sure.
Some of us are in group 5. We got a 0 out of 1 for the project completion for part 1, but we put our names on the folder. So
Yeah, we're all there.
Okay, so put it in.
we can. What?
No, the grade.
What? No, but did you correct it?
Yeah, it's been there since.
Okay, so Sebastian, can you change their grade?
Problem is, I didn't grade it, and I can't even
Who-
see
who-
that section of the grade.
Who
So I don't
graded
know.
it?
Sorry?
Who graded it? Where they say they got a 0?
I'm assuming, Kevin sent me a photo, I'm assuming he's in the same group as you guys. And he said, hey, I don't know if it's just me or my whole group, but I got a 0. And then I don't remember grading anything. And when I check, I don't even see the 0 on my screen. So
Did you? Okay. Do you see actually something on your grade book? You see project 0?
Yeah, part 1 project completion.
Okay,
Zero.
so
I can screen share.
yeah. So let maybe somebody else grade it. I didn't grade it. And Sebastian didn't grade it. The AI graded it. But it's good that you check, right? A lot of times for the humans.
Was project 1 graded?
Project
or was
1.
it just like maybe it
Part
has
one.
the 0 there?
Maybe it wasn't graded, that's it. But they should have hidden it.
Well, no,
yeah.
it says the average is 0.43, so I think that means half the people got
Was
one.
it like a point for completion?
Yeah.
That was my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
just
we
a
had
point.
zero.
Then I just wanted to make sure that people wouldn't just slough it off and not do a damn thing. You know what I mean? You know how it is in this class. It's almost bimodal, right, Zach? It's either people are, so it's just a way, hey, this is going to be graded, don't take this. Oh, it's not day off, go to the beach.
Right.
And so, but we'll fix it. Don't worry about it, we'll fix it.
Thank you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know what
Thank
happened
you.
there. But that's you got a great group, I think. You know what you want to do. And basically think about, hey, I can do this. Hey guys, we want to get together, be consultants on AI. What services could we actually provide that would be useful to ourselves plus to other people?
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you.
See you Monday.
Dr. Rush,
I did my dynamic AI voice assignment. Like, I didn't know there was a post needed for it, so I did it over break. But I did all the work and stuff. You can see it on the Zoom stream for
But
the
but
design
it
day.
wasn't. It was due before, no?
Um, yeah, but like I did all the work. Like, it was on the Zoom. I just didn't know I needed to make a post for it. You know what I'm saying?
No. Why? I have no idea. You did it before, but you didn't upload it.
Like, yeah, like with the Zoom, you know how you made everybody like talk about like the Notebook LM and all that stuff. So like I was on stream like doing that at the time. I just didn't know I had to make a post for myself. Like all my
You
team
didn't know
members.
you're supposed to do an individual Zoom.
No, we weren't supposed to. Like we had to make like a separate post for like what topics we covered, and I just didn't do that. Is there any way-
Okay. Talk to Sebastian about it. I'll have Sebastian. Sebastian, offline, can you deal with Lucas?
Yeah, I already talked to him about it. I just didn't know if I'm allowed to give him credit for what can I do? So I just give him full credit.
I don't know what the issues are. He was late?
He just hasn't. He did the assignment on time. He just didn't post it.
So have him correct it and you'll give him credit.
Okay. So just Lucas post it and then shoot me a message saying you posted it and I'll do it.
It's already posted. I did it like a week ago, so like.
Okay, I'll do it.
So he'll correct it.
I'll try to do it today. I don't know if I can.
No, but you know that it's in the
As long as,
process.
Yeah, I'll do it. If not, just shoot me a message and I'll turn my.
So he'll do it for the next class.
Yeah. Just remind me.
Okay. So now we know, but make sure that you do everything that's required. You do it on time. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a good one.
What else?
No, I think we're good to go.
So we need to make it clear what the code is. So now you know what I'm looking for in a proposal, right,
Correct.
Sebastian? That it's doable, that it's not pie in the sky.
They were actually more creative than my class was last year. My
Yeah.
class was pretty just basic tutoring services. And this.
Okay, no, it's good, but I just didn't want, with the real estate, with the Matterport and real estate analysis, no way would they be able to finish that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be tough.
You know what I mean? Could they, no one in that group even used a Matterport, and not even that, Matterport is old school, you know what I mean? It's old stuff. So they want to go in with new stuff. Okay. I appreciate your work, and then we'll continue with this, and we got to get it. The next thing is we have to do also the Wix. Why don't you do this? Can you try and do a new Wix? Just start off and
okay.
with the new code to see if the code works.
Okay. I'll do that.
You know what I mean? Let's make sure that the code works. And do you have just even, I guess, do you have to use another credit card?
I never use my credit card. I actually use my.
Oh, good. So just try it out to see if that code works. Because they're not going to charge you, you know?
All right.
Perfect. And then you know what? If yours isn't, you haven't used your credit card, talk with Daniel because he was talking about some things that he wanted to make some changes and he wanted to pay for stuff. And I said, I didn't want him to pay. You know what I mean? He needed to make changes. So maybe you could take something similar together with Daniel and see if you can combine everything that we're adding to it. So talk to Daniel about it. Okay?
All right, I will.
Okay, and I appreciate everything. And with the students, you do a better job sometimes in communicating than sometimes I don't have the empathy.
Thank you, Professor. I appreciate it.
Bye. Ciao.
All right.
Can you guys hear me? Let's get our cameras on. So, Sophia, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear that I have getting out of laryngitis here, so you'll have to help me, okay, Sophia? Can you imagine me not being able to talk? It doesn't do well in my profession and my life. So, Sophia, how'd the proposal work out?
It went well.
Okay, what did you propose?
We proposed a variety of. Do you want me to share my team's proposals?
Yeah, go ahead. While we get everybody up and running and everybody showing their camera. And how are you doing, Rianne? I see a hood and everything. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Okay. All right. Are you sharing, Sophia, or are you having issues?
I was just pulling it up.
Okay. Maybe tell me from the top of your, and you remember any of them? Which one was your favorite? Okay, we got it. Your what group? What group are you?
I thought that my team came up with great ideas.
Okay.
I feel that the second proposal was a little more interesting to me.
Okay. And what was the second proposal?
It was for Next AI Advisory.
And who's the audience?
They're enterprise and e-commerce, retail, and finance.
Okay, and what are you going to do for them?
We're going to provide tools that allow them to forecast sales,
Okay.
analytical tools to track business intelligence,
Okay.
and sites
All right.
make better decisions.
Okay. All right. Okay, you can stop sharing. Got the idea. So did you? So you can stop sharing now. Great. So this is being transcribed. I'm recording, and I have I'm recording on YouTube, and let's do this. Do I have any volunteers to moderate the chat? Okay, and who else? And Mark. Okay, and Mark, can you be so kind and moderate the chat? And both of you, can you reach out to everyone, make sure that unless they got permission from me, they have that they need to turn on their cameras, and then we can get started. So everybody knows cameras on unless you have some issues of broken camera or some other issue of health or something like that. Nathaniel and Navar and Emerson and Noah, and hopefully. Okay. So hopefully everyone will get on board, and then hopefully my throat will last. Okay, welcome everyone. What we had on Monday was a time for you to meet with your groups to do your proposals. And let me say a couple of words that's going to be important for the class. And in this case, George, if you can lower your camera a little bit so we can see your entire face. Perfect. And hopefully we can get the others up and running. Okay. The next part of our semester is going to go really fast. But what I'd like us to do is be able to be AI consultants to businesses and to others, to be able to possibly teach them on how AI can help be more effective and efficient. What's important to note is that we are in the beginning stage of AI, the products, and many times the products are not 100% accurate. For instance, the financial community is reluctant to use, for instance, for recordings, because of they're heavily regulated to use some of the AI in recordings, even some of the things that we use for AI companion to summarize. They do not want to make any mistakes. But for some others, for instance, of being able to figure out strategies or ideas or to brainstorm, I think AI is really pretty good even now. And that for your projects, what's going to be important, what I was trying to tell you, Sophia, is I want you to do a project that you can learn from, that businesses can get your services, and it's not pie in the sky. Some of your propositions were very interesting in your proposals. My one contention that I had is that it was more theory, and I don't think within 5 weeks or 6 weeks that you will be able to do it. So we almost have to think to ourselves, what services can we give now and learn about to give, rather than something very sophisticated that maybe we read from the books but would take us months to do. So I'm going to have you narrow some of your proposals down. So any comments that you have, I'll have each group present your proposals quickly to me. So you'll decide among your group who will be presenting shortly, and I will, when I give you feedback, it will be narrowing for the entire class. I do not mind if groups basically do the same topic area. That's not going to be a problem for me because you still can do many points of view on it. It won't be exact and it won't be duplicate because it will still have you involved. Okay? So let's start. Let me start by sharing and talking about what is due and where we go from there. Okay? So Haley, does that sound good to you?
Sounds good.
Great. So let's start. So I'm going to share my screen. You tell me if you see my screen. You see my screen and you see that our YouTube live streaming works well, and I'm going to go to our content. I'm in section J. And what is the first thing that we always do then? Sophia, is what? What do we look at when we do our housekeeping?
Announcements.
Yeah, well, announcements and also what's due. So let's go to what's due. We go to what's due, and my edit is off, so this should be the same one. If you looked at it before, today is Wednesday, March 19th, you'll see that we have the audit assignment was to do the final project group 1, which was due before this class, and you had the readings of the Tech Guide 3 of cloud computing, right? You had the adaptive assignment and you had the quizzes. So we'll go more into next week, more into cloud computing. I'll be also giving you some additional readings in this area of cloud computing. The next part, Sophia, is due next Wednesday, and next Wednesday is final project part 2. There are a number of parts to this project, and what's nice, Sophia, is every week we'll be doing another step of the project rather than leaving it to the end. And I'll be giving each group feedback. You'll be reading about artificial intelligence. We've been talking about it and using a lot of the tools, but now we're going to be doing artificial intelligence in a more academic fashion, reading chapter 14, and I will also give you additional readings of artificial intelligence. You'll be doing adaptive assignment and quizzes. So the idea for next week is completing project 1 is I need to go over with you your proposals, and then once you get over the proposals is I approve that, Sophia. The next step is doing an elementary draft using a website. As I mentioned before, Sophia, as I have academic partnerships with a number of companies, and with Wix, since I've done some consulting with them and helped their executives, in return they've said that they wanted to help us in the way that they are giving us a way to upgrade to their paid version. So we're going to get a paid version where we will be able then to have our own domain name and our URL. So in this case, Sophia, if I look at this, it says the assignment is upgrading Wix and Collaborate. Is that idea for assignments? Where do I find the instructions to this assignment? Sophia.
Audit assignment instructions.
Right, so I'm going to go to audit assignment instructions, and the way I'm doing it is make sure that it's working. And in this case, working here is you can upgrade Wix using a code. So you're going to only get, for only this class, and for one member in each group, you can use the code. And with that, you'll invite team members for the project. And you'll be able then to do your research and launch a live website. So here's one part of attaching the code here, talking about upgrading your research. So it's basically you go to the Wix and it's going step by step, creating a site and then uploading. If I also go to, it says PowerPoint and documentations, you'll see in documentations here, I have the PowerPoint. Now, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but these are ways in which to upgrade. But before we do the upgrade, what I want is to go to your section of the audit which is Audit J. Go to assignment groups, and your assignment groups under your group 0 should be your final project, and you should have listed everyone who was present in doing your proposal. So if I go to assignment groups here, in group 1, I have Nisa, Tessa, Jared, and Rianne, and I'm going to just go through each group and give you feedback, and you need my permission to do one of the proposals. I am a member of every group. So let's start with group 1. I go to group 1, I go to the final project, at least they've done this, they put in each person in their group, first name, last name, and you have under proposals, you have 2 proposals. So who is in this group that wants to tell me about it? And we're going to do quickly through each one, so don't unmic yourself and let me know. No one's here from group 1? Tessa, Jared, Rianne. Rianne, I know you're here.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
What was the question? Sorry.
The question is, we're going through your assignment quickly, and I want you to tell me about your proposals.
Okay, let me pull it up really quick.
Okay, so the idea here, Rianne, we have to go through a number of groups, so every group has to be prepared. Okay?
Okay.
Were you involved in this, Rianne? Was any of this your?
I was.
Okay.
We met on Monday.
Okay, so the question.
Our first proposal is consulting, and we said that we would, I guess, use AI to help like do our operations and stuff with technology too, and then we said that we would do like workshops and stuff like that for like.
What problem are you trying to solve? Okay, so let me tell you. Can I interrupt you?
I don't think that we really necessarily had a problem, so I think maybe we need to edit it for that.
Okay, so this is
kind of just more of a consulting thing. But
a consulting to do what? Consulting to help them what?
I guess bridge the gap between AI technology and like business, but I guess.
Okay, so let's do this. So we got to rewrite this either. And what was the second one? What's the difference between 1 and 2? It sounds like the same thing. It sounds like.
Yeah.
What I don't understand. One's called Next AI in this, and we integrate Microsoft to automate tools, ChatGPT, and Data Robot. Okay, what's the other one? What are you using? Claude and okay, all right. Okay, this is the case for everybody. It's what I want you to do is something that you can do, Rianne, and this is for everyone. That at the end you actually can do this and go to a business and say, "This is what we have to offer." So, so if the idea, so you have to rewrite this, and you can start rewriting it now, and you can even use one of the AIs to help you, is what are you trying to solve? Is it that you're trying, one proposal could be, we're trying to educate your employees on how to use AI tools in your business. Or in a way that if I'm a student, you're a student, I'm looking for an internship, my proposal is to help students with using AI get internships, and it may be inviting recruiters to come in and tell us via what? Via Zoom, via live streaming to YouTube and others, tell us how we can get internships using AI to help us with their resume, help us with interviewing, invite others. So this, your proposals sound so vague that I have
Yeah.
no idea. You agree with me? They sound
Yeah, I
so
agree.
vague. So you need to rewrite them and rewrite it quickly that it could be, I'm here to train employees how to do quicker emails using like Copilot to write emails or this. It may be in ways in which to create podcasts, ways in which basically it could be like a tutoring of students, and these are the tools that I'm using. It could be in a way that if I'm dealing with realtors, how realtors, I'm going to help those realtors do it. It could be using in terms of marketing. That is so, you understand? I read it, and you even have a hard time figuring out what the heck it means, right?
Yeah.
So you threw it out. So so how am I supposed to know? So bring it down to this proposal, and I think everybody needs to refocus this. This proposal is that you are going to basically give services to businesses on tools that you actually know,
Okay.
not forecasting and all these, it sounds like the book almost, like chapters from the book taking it that are meaningless to you after a while. They talk about data mart, whatever, a data warehouse, and you have no idea. I don't even know what inventory is. I have no inventory. But rather what you can do for it. So if you're a student at that, if you're a student that I'm going to do using these tools to help with mental health, you know what a student is, you know that their stresses, you know that their loneliness, I need help on studying, you can have a proposal on that. Something that you're not hiding that you're a student, but you're not emphasizing this is just a silly student project, but this is real. Do you understand that? The difference is what I want, rather than some of you are going to be, doing healthcare and basically going to diagnose, x-rays. You have no idea how to do that, right? So it takes a whole team to do it. But you have a number of skills already here that you can do, that you can share and you can learn about. You got it? So that needs to be redone when I'm sharing that. Okay? So that needs to be, so both of these need to be, I don't know, the idea that you can get expert led, you're the experts. Interactive workshops, on demand courses. So list the courses. If it may be courses about what's AI, and these are skills that you're going to do, and you may give webinars on that, training employees how to use AI that can help them with their work. And you're going to be able to give examples of using maybe Perplexity and Gemini and Claude. Or you'll be able to use then Copilot and ChatGPT. You have access to it for some kind of showing it. This data robot, who wrote that to provide predictive analytics, I don't know. You understand? For real world, blah, 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 but actually specifics on it.
Okay.
And I need this done so I can approve it, so we can go on.
Okay.
Okay, group 2. Alex, Ethan, and Adam. Who can tell me? So they at least put, this is the final project. Okay, they were there. So who wants to tell me about it? Let's go.
So our first proposal was about real estate AI.
Okay.
And so like real estate agents have problems like finding properties like at a good price, or like looking at its history and like all the properties history. So like this AI would just like do most of the work for you and just like give you a report.
Okay. So I could see it. So I could see this of restating this, that you'll provide then services to teach. Who are you going to do it to? Realtors, to brokers, to both?
It would mainly just be real estate agents.
So real estate agents about AI, and you can give like seminars. How to use these tools. What's the second one? Next Wealth.
The second one's like a wealth management firm. So like, I guess a lot of people like I don't really look at the markets and stuff like that. But if I had like an AI app on my phone that told me like how the markets were doing or like how to manage my money, I'd definitely like look into it.
Yeah. But
Like,
can
it's
you,
for like the average. It's not for like
I
real
know,
estate
but the
investors. It's like the
is,
average person.
I know, but can you actually do this in 4 weeks? Give that service. So I want this proposal that at the end you actually can give that service.
Yeah, this one seems pretty easy. I mean, you just have to like look at the markets and.
So you have to. So maybe what it'll be is also training then who are wealth managers. Who are you going to be training? Or is this for end users? Okay, so the average person. So what is no? So you have to actually show them examples of how to do these. So when you're giving your demos, you're going to actually have to then find something that will do those AI-based trading alerts using Notebook LM for something that it would apply to for my wealth management. This one, AI-powered stock prediction. Have you ever used this one? Is it available? Is it free?
Yeah.
Is it free?
Yeah, so you have to just sign in and make an account.
Okay, so then if you could show, so if you could show these, that would be great. But you're actually going to have to show how to use these and say that at the end we can give this as a service, as being consultants in this market. So it seems like proposal 2, you can do better than proposal 1, no? Or real estate, you decide among your group. But I actually want you to show actually how to do these. And you'll show examples in your videos. Plus, you'll have a podcast, right? You'll show basically your podcast of your own URL. We'll do something where we'll get phone numbers that you'll attach. We'll do a chatbot so you can teach them about chatbots too. So did that make sense? So which one are you going to choose?
Probably proposal 1, just because I feel like it's a lot more applicable.
Okay, so
just,
then
real estate's all around us.
I know it's so big, but what I would do is focus in on that if it's real estate agents, teaching them about almost AI and getting them up to snuff. And these are examples. Later on, we can give you other services. These are some of the examples of what we can do for you. And it may be even in terms of the website, it may be in terms of we can give you a podcast. Later on, it may be in terms of we can give you a chatbot, we can give you a phone number, and when you call the phone number, we can attach that. You got it? Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Okay, you can tell.
I'm just editing the assignment to put the code in there.
Right. And also, Daniel, right, it was difficult for students. I'd rather have that when they do the code for Wix, that they're going, it seems like they have to go to many different ways to find the code, number 1.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the assignment.
Yeah, put it in the assignment of what the code is. And I want to thank Daniel always, but you can hear, you'll see how far I can go with my voice, right? But anyways, this is it. So I appreciate it that we'll continue. So I'm going to continue with their proposals and then we'll go step by step. Okay. So redo that, your group, redo it and say, this is the proposal approved by Dr. Rush. Okay? And the same.
Which one, the first one or the second one?
I don't care, either one.
Oh, okay.
But something that you can give as a service and you can actually show them how to do it. And on your website, you're showing examples of this is how you can, we're giving you a scenario on how to do it. So you may want to meet with a group, but I want it done so we can start with the second step. Okay? Okay, group 3. Sabrina, Mark, Harlan, and Fiaz. Okay, so what is this? Who can help me? My voice is going to go. One is AI tutor, and the other one is for
marketing.
Okay,
The goal we had in mind was we should have been a little more specific, just like the other groups. But our goal for the first one was to help entrepreneurs just make a company for a lot cheaper, so they don't have to hire a bunch of people. They don't need to make a bunch of they don't need to learn a bunch of different skills. They can just use AI.
Right. Okay. And what's the second one? AI tutor. So which one do you like better, Mark?
I like the first one more.
I do too. Okay. So basically, Mark, so make it on is this for small businesses? I would basically maybe make it for businesses that don't have a marketing team, right? Official one.
Exactly. I guess the goal is a startup, like 1-man shop, 2-man shop.
Or even a 5-man, or even a restaurant. I have people in my restaurant. I just don't know how to do this stuff, right? So it doesn't even be 1-man and a 2-man. It can be many people in the company, but they don't know how to do it. And then your AI products, I would show, and then also I would even do the podcasts and the other parts that we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But actually show examples of these, and show basically that almost that you're eating what I call, Mark, eating your own dog food. So you're going to show it for your business, right? You're going to have a business of this consulting company, how you're doing it using these tools, and you can do it for them.
Yeah.
Rather than just saying, I'm going to do this for you and I have no idea how to do it, you're actually going to show them how to do it. And you maybe take yourself as an example. Consulting groups, right? So I like proposal 1, but you make it, and not just 2 products. How many people in your group, Mark?
4.
4, so at least 4 products. Or at least different versions of those, at least 3 products or 4 products. And each person, you can even do 4 products, and you can work as a team, 2 people to a product. You decide. I'm not going to micromanage. Okay, group 4. And then put one of the things and then say approved by Dr. Rush. Okay. My final, Alexa, Noah, Caitlin, and Navarre. So tell me about it. No? My voice is going to go.
So we'll just start with proposal 2. So our second proposal.
You like that better?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you like that better, proposal 2?
Compared to proposal 1? I like both of them.
Okay. So what is proposal 2?
Proposal 2 is a tutoring service that uses AI called Cognivance. So it's essentially just like a AI tutoring system, so students can use this system to help with their schoolwork and study for tests.
Okay, so what I would focus, if you're going to do that, I would focus on who is my clientele. So I would narrow it maybe to universities, right?
Yeah, we're focusing, universities is like one of the things we're focusing on.
Well, it's not one of the things. I would say focus for, rather than student, right? Rather than Khan Academy that's generic, I would focus it in students. And maybe in this case, you can focus, and are you going to meet them ever physically, or you're teaching them the tools, you're going to actually tutor them, or what?
No, it's all online. So
I know, but are you going to do the tutoring, or just teach them tools to do it themselves?
Tools to do it themselves.
Okay, so that has to be clear. So I would rewrite that and say tools for people to basically study. And what you may want to do is focus in the beginning of your samples, maybe of business students, and take certain as examples, certain topics that are more difficult.
Yeah.
So rewrite that. Proposal 2.
Should I move on to proposal 1?
No, I would just keep it. Who's proposal 1 for?
Proposal 1 is it's like a flight aviation AI. So essentially,
Do you know anything about this area?
well, this is Naveer's specialty.
Right. But it's Naveer's specialty. So I like number 1 because everybody can relate to proposal 2, right?
Okay, so we should go with proposal 2.
Don't you think so? Everybody, Naveer, he can do maybe something on his own, but this is very specific to what Naveer knows. He's a pilot. He can do this. I would do number 1. Everybody can relate to that, and that it can help you, right?
Yeah, so go with number 2.
Yeah. And rewrite it to where it's focused and that you'll show examples, for instance, in some of the courses that you're actually using.
Yeah.
And then maybe you could do it in some ways that maybe you can even meet or somehow or get maybe a group together where you'll do it before exams or something. That maybe you can even have some other tutors come in, help with asking questions that you didn't get correct by the bot and the bot can learn. Group 5. Presley and others. Okay. I'm losing my voice, so let's start. Somebody chime in.
So ours is Pima AI Gen Corp, our first one. It's a marketing company. So we're targeting small family-owned and local businesses. Our goal, some of the things we're gonna do with marketing is we're gonna do customer analysis. So our repeating customers, we're gonna see what they buy and what they continuously buy, and then the AI will send out emails or messages to that person, like ads for the type of products that they bought.
What's the second one?
The second one is a tutoring one, MIPA Agent Corp.
Okay.
Basically, so based off after the first meeting, based off prior meetings, it'll help. The AI will record the meeting, and then based off what is talked about and what is learned, it can also help them set up with other tutors and similar specialties. So try to find. It also helps find the perfect online tutor for anyone in the United States.
Okay, so you're not teaching tools. You're actually kind of matching an online tutor.
Yes.
And where are you using AI then? How's AI coming in?
So for the tutoring one, we're gonna use Zoom, and then we'll have the AI transcription. So then that will be over multiple Zooms, we'll see what's talked about, and then AI will obviously summarize what's going on in the meetings, and then that summary we'll see what's similar to other summaries from different tutoring sessions, and then help. So then when someone wants to find a tutor or a different tutor, they're able to see who taught something very similar.
And how are you going to do that? It seems complicated.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, if you're going to do AI tutoring, what I would do is look at the tools that can help an individual do tutoring. And then you may have, in addition, you may want to recruit online tutors that will also use your tools to help then the tutoree. And then you may have then maybe like review sessions or something like that. And you may even want to do something that you'll start at a certain university and a certain school and maybe work with like the tutoring We have
Yeah.
tutoring here at the university. You may be wanting like an add-on to the tutoring that already exists. What you want to do in terms of matching online and doing all that sophistication, you're not able to do, right? And that's not easy to do.
Okay.
So, or you want to, do you know any, the marketing? It's something among the two, what can you actually teach somebody? What services can you actually do rather than in theory? That sounds great. The AI can see what we learned and find a better tutor. You don't know how to do that, I imagine, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, no, you're correct. I don't know.
So I would make it much more simple. Either you would do marketing for certain small businesses, and these are examples of tools that I can help you with, and you actually show how to use those tools for a business. And those tools you use for a business, you'll use on yourself because you're a business. Do you understand the difference? Rather than in theory, you're sounding like the book. And half the stuff that 90% of what you read in the book is basically, it's hard to even understand, right? Doesn't have anything to do with you. So it's the same idea. If you're going to be marketing, you're going to use those marketing tools on your business, which is an AI business. And we'll show you how we used it for ourselves. Or with online tutoring, it's the same idea. These are courses where we're going to start off with business. And maybe we'll work with the university's tutoring or something like that. Maybe do number one. But focus in on those tools and then use yourself as the guinea pig. And we can do this for you.
All right.
Rewrite that. And
I'll talk to my most of my group isn't here today, so.
Oh, well, that's not good, is it? Right. That's
yeah, I'll talk to them about it.
Okay, and one of the things that you need to talk to, who is not here in your group?
Morgan and Issa, they're both sick.
Okay, so this is not good, right? What?
I believe they sent you doctor's notes.
Okay, but I'm just saying that we need to work on it. Yeah, okay. So that's what I would do and get it in. I would get it in before Monday. I would even get it in by Friday. Today is Wednesday, get it in by Friday. This is my project that needs approval. And send a note to Daniel that you've uploaded it by Friday.
Okay.
Okay, group 6. Final project.
Hi.
Hi.
So, hi. Our first idea was the marketing boosters. Our target market would be essentially any businesses that you can market. And I learned about this in digital marketing when you're doing your search engine optimization.
Right.
Certain keywords are better than others. So like basically using AI to speed up the process instead of like wasting your money bidding on things that won't work.
Right.
And those are the
and what
AI
about
apps.
so in this? So what do you like better? Both 1 or 2?
Honestly, they're both
I want everybody to be honest because it doesn't because you're gonna get stuck with this. You understand? I'm not doing it. You are, right? So you better, what I mean. I want us to, right?
Sorry, I was gonna talk to my group. Like they're both really good ideas.
Yeah, they are.
The second one is like helping students.
Okay,
like,
so you need to decide by the end of the day which one, and then just I approve both of them. But so you have to say that on the top, everybody has to say this is what our group is doing. Okay? I like both of them, and then you can show it on your. Maybe even do the first one since you know a bit about it, and use your company as an example. Okay, what was that, group 6? Group 7. So Nathaniel, Blake, George, and Ava. No, that's not here. So tell me, no? Is anyone here from your group? Or is your group all absent?
For group 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so let's go.
My favorite was the first.
Which is what?
Wealth management, integrating AI.
Okay, and who is your target audience?
Our target audience is small to medium-sized SMEs looking to enhance operational efficiency. But we think that our idea can boost productivity and reduce costs, and using tools like Notebook LM, Copilot for 365, and Grok for real-time data analysis.
Okay, so you're going to have to, when you're going to be doing this, you're going to actually have to show it how to do this.
Yeah.
You're able to show all how to do this. You'll have to take in examples and actually show how to use this to do that, to accomplish that.
It might be too hard, but
okay, what's the second one?
The second one is it helps businesses modernize operations. We use AI to kind of the same idea to enhance efficiency and reduce costs, but we offer personalized consultancy to identify where AI can automate tasks that would make the business more efficient.
Yeah. I would go with one, but one I would cut down in terms of who my target audience would be is maybe financial advisors.
Yeah, I agree.
And you understand? So make your target, so modify one to financial, let's say financial advisors, and how you can help them, and maybe give examples of maybe helping them in terms of maybe responding to emails, maybe doing automation of some things. What were you actually, and those types of things, and actually show it. It may be using Excel with Copilot and show exactly issues on those.
I agree.
Okay? So modify number one, but to be more specific on how you're going to help them, and even simple tasks to help them with.
All right.
Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Next group. So I have, you were what? Group what? Was that 7?
7.
Yeah, so 8. Sophia, this is your group, right? So let me know.
You want me to present it?
I want somebody to present it.
Well, our first proposal is Synapse Strategy Consulting, and they are for businesses looking to improve their client engagement, and they focus on reducing administrative burdens. And then Next AI is a business intelligence company, and they use business analytics to create decisions for management to improve sales and operations.
Okay.
That could be like tracking what is sold versus what is produced.
That sounds too complicated to me, because it's dealing with forecast. I would go with one, but in one, it seems like you're using Bloomberg Law Answers and Assistant AI powered legal research tools. Are those free?
I know that they have free trials.
Yeah. Sophia, are you going into law?
No.
So to me, it seems like I would then, if you're not and everyone in your group is, I would set it up as basically make it more generic and don't do healthcare and law and financial advisory. It seems to me very narrow, and make it more, and then legal and medical transcription. I would help them in more daily operations and tasks. This is too narrow and way too complicated for you guys to do. So I would be maybe in helping businesses or teaching people, maybe in ways even to do do marketing, get closer to the customer, doing some Zoom, taking about teaching them how to do polling, all your Zoom activities, basically in terms of webinars, maybe in terms of using Notebook LM, using ways for marketing, maybe some strategy building and things like that. What do you think?
I will let my group know.
It's more, and we gotta decide by the end of the day what you understand that we need to be able to actually do it. And these are like a lot of words here, but you can't, what you have is you can't deliver on it. Do you understand? And I'm not saying it in a derogatory point, but do you know anything about financial advisory firms? Do you know anything about healthcare law firms? This is way too technical. But maybe what you can do is help them in getting closer to their customer. Maybe in seminars, or teach them about AI and what tools are available in AI for their businesses. So by Friday, I need to get a revised version that you'll all agree on. Yes, no?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. What group was that?
Group 8.
Group A. And stay with me, Sophia, after class, and I'll help you group. Who else is here from your group? Anyone besides you, Sophia?
I'm here.
Okay. Okay.
Here.
So Emerson, and you're here too, Dylan?
Yeah.
So stay with me after class and we'll work it out. Okay? Group 9. So group 9 is Heidi, Graham, Christopher, and Lena. So tell me, one is tutoring and one is mental health. They're good topics. So who wants to talk about it?
I can.
Okay.
Our first one for tutoring, we're just thinking about the fact that it's hard to get tutoring like quickly, and it also costs a lot of money. So we're just creating a service for that. So like making personalized study plans. If you like put your information of when the test would be into the AI, and like it could make a personalized study plan for you, and then like homeworks if maybe you put like your notes and stuff, kind of like how Notebook LM works, like a different type of that.
Okay. And what in mental health? What's the second one?
Same thing, like goes for mental health, just like how it takes, like you have to make an appointment with a therapist or whatever, if that's what you wanted to do. So just.
And what do you like better?
I feel like the tutoring probably.
Okay. I like the mental health too.
Okay.
I like mental health for university students. And I like mental health university students, and you can even list some issues that university students have. Like maybe anxiety before, and then I like the idea of beyond, maybe it's difficult to even get a counselor. You don't have the counselor 24/7, right? Even if you got a therapist, when would you see him? Like once a week or something, and then this way you can give them. Everyone in your group can evaluate some of the mental health apps out there, AI apps, and then you can give examples of how that can be done, and then you can even do it in combination maybe with peers. And kind of say, like, hey, basically, maybe one of the things is loneliness or something like that, where you get even physically people together, but at least I can get that mental health and then actually show it. So I do number one, mental health, and you can label it something else. You may not want to use the word mental health, right? Because that may be like a drawback, but some kind of things of helping with social issues, even some of the ideas, a lot of times people don't do well in classes, not because they have some anxiety and some other and some other issues that prevent them from studying or not doing my assignments on time, being disorganized or whatever. So give scenarios of what you can relate to. And it doesn't have to be that you have serious mental health problems. It could be just how do you, get along. And part of it could be with the mental health is studying. So you could even have a section of helping me be organized or helping me study with something like Notebook LM and others. What do you think about that?
That sounds good.
Okay, so Heidi, let's rewrite number 2 and get it done by Friday. And then we'll move on. And I'm giving you, conditionally accepting proposal 2. Did I finish all groups? I think so. So let's have everybody's camera on. So since my voice is going, Daniel, can you maybe talk about once those proposals, I think, any questions about the proposals? So do you understand what I wanted to do is I want these proposals, that's something that you all can relate to and that you could actually give a service. It could help you possibly. You could use it for your company and you could give it a service to other people rather than pie in the sky kind of thing that, this sounds good, but I don't know how to approach it.
Yes, and then eventually you're going to have to pick some different AI tools that relate to the project. So you guys, I think it's the amount of groups or members in your group.
Right, each
so
one.
Each person does one. Yep. And you could pick anything really, as long as it's fairly easy to use and you're able to figure it out. Some people have tried to use Watson and stuff like that. It gets a little complicated, but there's plenty, especially now with AI becoming so big. So you guys should have no issue with that. And then of course this all culminates in a final presentation. So all of you guys have to do something in this project. It's very important. There will be a peer review, so keep you guys accountable and everything like that. So please do make sure that you all participate and you all actively add to the project.
And if not, basically, you will be graded individually as well. So it's the idea of my project, and you cannot say the project was great, but I basically sat there, or didn't do anything. That you don't get the same grade as the rest of the project. And then it's also, I think, the idea why I want each person to know the software is basically then you can learn, and then you can take it with you. So those are the issues. And then did you want to go
Wix
over?
is very useful.
Yeah.
And if you guys need to build the website in the future, it is a good tool.
Yeah. So
obviously we have the academic part and we closely with Elliot.
So do you want to go over a little bit of the Wix once they got their proposal, what they need to do, Daniel?
Sure. I could pull mine up if they want to take a look.
Yeah. And then maybe even how they would approach Wix. Should they start with the AI? Where do they put in the code? How do they do that? Maybe even, show yours from last semester. And you'll even add more, right? Because we're going to do the phone number. We'll have the VAPI and the others.
Yeah.
But yours is just the beginning, Thank you, Daniel.
Of course.
Because I think this way the students can kind of see. And note that Daniel you did it on your own, right, Daniel? So.
I did, yeah.
So.
All right, so each of you guys will make an account on Wix, and only one of you will need to actually upgrade the website to the business plan. It used to be that it was all free and you didn't really need to do that, but then they limited how many people could be on the team. So now you need to upgrade in order to invite people. So the first person in your group, you guys can assign like a leader just for this. And they'll actually create the website.
The beginning of it. Because they can upgrade. They don't need a domain name, right?
So setup.
Yeah,
This is all editing my stuff.
Yeah, but you could go to settings. Go to settings.
Oh, this is that in order to add people?
Yeah. So once they upgrade to the business plan, go to settings. It's at the bottom there, I think.
At the bottom.
See settings? I think on settings it should be.
Yeah, right here.
But also, yeah, roles and permissions, just like we talked about before, everybody roles and permissions. And when you upgrade, in the beginning, what it is now is that you only can have one collaborator. But if you upgrade to the business plan, you can have
up to 10.
Up to 10. But if you don't, it used to be that you could have up to 5 collaborators in the free version. Now they only give you one other collaborator, which doesn't make sense. So the first thing that you'll need to do is you'll assign one person to sign into Wix with their email, upgrade to the business plan with the code, make sure the code works, that you have 0 for the amount you need to pay, and then you can then assign roles and permissions, and then you will then give everyone the highest role.
Yes, so you'll invite the collaborator,
right,
and you'll give everyone the admin
right
roles. So they can do everything.
Right.
Now, one thing that's important about that, only one person can edit the site at a time. Right. So when you guys all have different things that you have to do for the website, make sure to plan around each other and try to avoid conflicts, because if some person is editing it and then someone else tries to log in, it won't delete anything, but it will kick that person off. So you want to make sure that you work around that. I could go over like the options you have when you're actually creating a website if you like.
Maybe we can do that Monday. We can do that Monday. But what's important here is people can even use Zoom as a group and have one person do it and then basically share it together. So for planning purposes, it's good to have one person, just like we're doing right now, where Daniel, you're leading it. You put in your email address and upgrading, and we can all see what you're doing. And then you can kind of try out the AI version and choose a template. So you could even do like a new site or something like that and see how it works. Maybe we can do that for Monday, and we'll see in terms of the ways once everybody has a proper proposal. Because really, Daniel, what's really important, and then they can reach out to you too, is that it's doable, their proposal, and it's something that they can learn from, rather than so esoteric that they don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah, so some things also for Wednesday, there's a few things that you have to do. I'm just gonna pull this up. So you have to create like a home page with a logo, and we prefer that you use AI to generate that just to see the newest technologies. And then make sure you write that it was created with AI specific or specify which model. As far as image generation, the Grok model is very good, and also Dolly by OpenAI. So you just have to create a home page, have kind of like a catchphrase or a business phrase here. This podcast stuff will come later, and then just a little bit about what you do. And then you also need to have this kind of bottom page where it has an email address, a get in touch page, that's the contact page. I'll go to that up here. This is all in the assignment. So the contact us is very simple. You just put an email address, a phone number of some sort, and you can even put an address, whether you want to use yours or the university, it doesn't matter. And last thing is an about page. So the about page, just a little something about your team, whether or not you want to have some images, you can generate this, I'll use Dolly as well. And then you just need to have images of each team member and what you're doing for the company. Of course, there's a little creative liberty here
Right.
as far as your role.
Right.
You know, you could say CEO, make some title up like I did here.
Right.
But if you were to present this to someone, it would be professional. It wouldn't be like a joke or something.
Right, and it wouldn't be, I like the beach and I like to, right.
Yeah, it's preferable for it to be a nice kind of business picture. Dylan here has a nice one.
Yeah.
I think I did a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe a suit, that would be nice. Just not something where you guys are
In their bathing
at a
suit.
party or something like that. You know?
With a beer in their hand.
Yeah, exactly. Let's keep it professional.
Okay.
But yeah, this website is available to everyone. It's in the Group Zero example. It's not fully done.
Right.
Because we have to add a couple of things from last semester to this semester, but this is basically everything. It's a good template. And obviously yours are going to look completely different. Everyone has their own creative designs, and Wix allows you to do that.
And you can use their AI or you can use their templates.
So say I were to create a fake site, which you guys are going to have to do this for this assignment. If you go to the create a site, you can either set it up without a chat, and that'll bring you to the template thing, or you can start it with the chat. Now when I did this, I did it with the AI chat. Ellery recommends a template just because they're very easy to use, but I wanted to test out the feature, so that is up to you.
And then also what is nice here, Daniel, is if they start chatting, then you can evaluate their AI. And then if you want to even give it a service, we can do an AI generated website for you too. That can be one of their services.
Yeah.
And then you can see how
the chat will ask you like some information about your site. So say, I don't know, if we had a mental health consulting or something like that.
Right, mental health for university students put,
Yeah. Mental health for university students using AI.
That says studies, but anyway. But anyways, we'll see if they got it right. And then you get the name right.
Yeah, what's the name of your business? University of Miami Mental Health Consulting.
And then I wouldn't put BTE.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't want it to be looking like a student project, so I wouldn't put BTE. But anyways, you got right. And then your students, right. And then maybe BTE, maybe would be business technology enterprise or something, you know?
Yeah, and you can always change everything.
Right.
Whatever you put here's not
Right. Okay, got the idea.
You got it, we want, want a team page and a contact us page.
Right.
And it should do all of this. It won't be perfect, but
it'll be a beginning. Right.
Something.
So it's basically using, so what I would do is I'd encourage using the AI with it and see what you get, and then go in and edit, because one time, what's the problem is a lot of times the AI is so generic that you want to do. Okay.
Yeah, so based off of everything I inputted, it's going to make something. I'm curious what it's going to make.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. What kind of picture?
Yeah. And then you have to put all this information.
Right.
You guys will get to it. It's all in the assignment. Right. There's no secrets here.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot. I think that helps giving an overview. Any questions? So the group that I asked to stay with me. Can you, and let me just promote you, make sure, Daniel.
Oh, you want to do the attendance?
Yeah, make you a co-host. And then let's do attendance. And I appreciate you all. You had some creative ideas there. And what I'm trying to do is bring you down to earth. You know what I mean? And say, hey, what's doable? And then you can actually show somebody, hey, I can do this for companies. And then later on you can say, additional services we plan to present. Then you can go into those additional services that we plan to present. Right now, we have these. In the future, if you're interested, we plan, or let us know what other services you need. But these are our future plans. You can put that. Okay. So did we get the... Oh, 5780 is the code for attendance. Beautiful. 5780. So stay with me. Otherwise, make sure your proposal is approved before you start with the Wix, and then on Monday, Daniel, we can start looking at that with them. Maybe we can even, once we approve everybody can even do that. We can do a little assignment where everybody does it with ChatGPT. And then they can make even an assignment and try it out and see what we get. Okay. Is everybody finished here? Questions? Anything else? So let me just turn off.
I turned off the record.
Okay, let me turn off YouTube, and I'm ready to help. Okay. So Graham, what's up?
Sorry, I was just doing the attendance.
Do you have any question?
No.
Sophia?
Hi.
Hi. What's your question?
I was in group 8.
Okay. And what about you, Emerson? You're in group 8 too?
Right.
And Jose, you're in group 8?
Yes.
And Tessa and Dylan?
Yeah, I'm in group 8.
Okay. And Navar? Are you there, Navar? Okay. So let's go back and share your screen of group 8, or somebody share. Or Daniel, you want to share group 8?
I could. I was regrading someone.
Oh, no, I can do it. Why don't you do it? Emerson, why don't you share group 8?
All right.
You got it?
Yeah. There we go. Give me 1 second. It's loading. All right. Here we go.
Okay. So what did I say? What did you get from what
said
I
that
said?
it was too complicated.
Yeah.
That it wasn't realistic.
So what do you suggest to do? Yeah, you started with Bloomberg and, legal and predictive analytics and financial consulting. It sounds interesting, but it's way too, I think it's too much to do in 5 weeks. So any other ideas? Or Daniel, do you have any suggestions for them?
I mean, you guys could come up with a different idea, I think. That doesn't sound like it's the most feasible. Bloomberg Law, I haven't used. Maybe there's something else that would help. That can't be free.
Right.
Even a trial, I don't think it would be longer than a couple of weeks, if that. Yeah, I mean, law is also kind of a difficult one, because if you get it wrong, people take it as legal advice, then it's a real problem. And then proposal 2 looks very generic, kind of. Do you think you guys could explain a little bit more on that?
It was just that like in the stock market and like businesses they want to like see, so basically like creating a stock report and stuff like that. Like to see where the company is and if it would be like good to buy or good to sell.
So it's for equities?
Yeah.
I mean, how would you show that? And you know what I mean? Because you have to demo it to some extent and have different AI tools that help with that. See, like AI models for market research, competitor benchmarking, trend analysis, helping people stay ahead of industry changes. I mean, could ChatGPT not do all of that? I guess it could.
So then you would have to come up with a number of prompts that they would need for each company to need.
I guess that's possible if you selected a few different companies and you were able to. I mean, it wouldn't just be ChatGPT. You'd have to use some other things. Maybe there's stock-specific AI that you could implement there. Do you guys know?
Is that of interest of many people in your group? Or is it just yours, Jose?
I don't know. I mean, I thought we all decided on it together, but I can't speak for the group.
Yeah, we all decided like this prompt together, or like the proposal.
Pardon?
Said we all like decided to use proposal together.
So if you could get certain prompts and certain ways and get, for instance, maybe the NASDAQ or the 7 and actually try it out and see, is it good enough? Because that's the problem with this dynamic. And what are you looking for next day? Are you looking for the next 3 months? You see how the market is going so crazy now, right? That in the beginning of Trump's administration, market was going straight up, and now it's gone, once there's indecisiveness, or do we have tariffs? How much are the tariffs? The market has gone, quite down, and now everybody's kind of like in confusion. So I think maybe more down to earth kind of things, if you could do it, or see how well that does. That's the problem of, are we relying on that to tell us our buy? Is it good enough now? I don't think it's good enough now to tell us what's going to happen, tomorrow. Unless you wanted to do something for helping people put together stock portfolios or something like that. I don't know, Daniel, if you want to work with them or make it that this needs to be doable in the next, think about it, almost in the next month. To my idea that I can show actual examples of how this AI works and give samples. So for people that were doing like tutoring, they can kind of see what they were doing for tutoring. Somebody with mental health, they can say, okay, I can say, evaluate, is this more empathetic, or can I use that with a counselor, or come up with the same scenario and see how different ways in which I should prompt certain AI applications to resolve my issues. Do you understand that, Sophia? That what now is it seems like it's too complicated. Do you agree, or?
So we try to make it like more specific for like a certain aspect of like a business or something, like rather than like general analysis.
Yes. Like what? What do you mean, Dylan? Give me an example.
I'm not totally sure. I don't know, because like I guess this proposal is pretty vague in the sense of like.
Yes.
But should we try to like pinpoint something specific we can do for analytics?
Exactly, yeah. And then come up with some AI tools that could actually do that.
Right.
Maybe try them out. You're going to spend a lot of time on this. You want to know if it's a good idea.
Right. We have a group chat, so we'll just like shoot some ideas back and forth.
Yeah, but actually be able that that everyone, this is the key, Emerson, I have to go to my other class, is that everybody in the group is going to take an AI tool and actually show examples of how they're solving this problem.
Right.
And the way you have it now is it's impossible, in the short period of time to do that. So if you want to do the finance part, it's good, but to see what part of AI can help you with basically, if you want to do like competitive analysis, that you could give in, okay, these are my peers. I want to do cruise lines, right? And I want to look at Carnival. I want to look at 3 other of their competitors. Give me how they've done in the past, year. Give me their trends and see how it comes up. Maybe something like that of the past. And then what is the marketplace? And asking it almost like key questions, 5 key questions. And basically use different tools to see how well it performs and give me documents. And then even something like, ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot on how they answer the same types of questions. And who is this for? Is this for simple investors? Is this for student investors? Is this for brokers? Is this for financial analysts? So I do something, Emerson and Dylan, that or Thomas, that it would be useful for you if you were going to be doing it. And giving it certain prompts and saying, hey, you can use we'll teach you how to prompt it to get the output that we want, and then maybe to evaluate it, those different tools.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I need this by Friday, the proposal, and then shoot Daniel a text that, hey, it's uploaded, and we'll evaluate it, that we can proceed for Monday.
Okay.
I don't want you to be left around that you're spending 3 weeks figuring out you understand that, Jose, that you're figuring out a proposal and you only have a week to do it. I'd rather you even take something more simple idea, and then you can explore a lot more products out there.
I feel like what maybe would be applicable to our second proposal kind of concept, or I've come into an issue with one of the tasks that I'm in charge of. I'm the vice president of philanthropy for my sorority, and I have to manage over 7 different websites and attendance within all of those websites within over 300 women. And it's really difficult to track all of the websites and have it feed into one specific sheet. Whereas if I had that option, I would then be able to send an exact text to this person, you're missing this and this.
Okay, so you may want to even look at Excel and its Copilot. And maybe Excel could possibly do some of these things and teach Excel with its AI, with Copilot, something like that, where you're giving training on something so specific of Excel and Copilot. But giving scenarios of what you can do. I need to get to my other class. You can maybe discuss this, offline here. I have to go on to another meeting. But I want it to be useful for you guys. I like the idea that you wanted to take it a step up, but we got to get something going that we can already start creating and looking at a number of to get this done by the end of the semester. Okay, so Daniel, you can reach out to Daniel and
send
give
me
him
an email with your proposal ideas, and I can help. I'll be available tonight.
Okay.
I have class right now, and I have
one too. I have class. I need to go. So
I have. Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome. And then work it out with your group. Okay. Great.
Thank you.
And Daniel, I need to get going to my other class.
Yep.
And then, are you going to meet me
tonight then? Yeah.
Meet me tonight. We got a lot to discuss. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. And then maybe tell that other group, hey, make it simple. Try to do something much more simple than what they, starting to integrate a bunch of sheets and things like that. Make it something that they're interested in, but much more simplified, or else I'm never going to get anywhere.
Yeah, I can feel the strain in your voice. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, I need to go. All right, talk to you after.
Bye-bye.
guys hear me? Yes? You can hear that I have finishing up with laryngitis, but hopefully I'll be able. Let me get some hot tea till we get everybody in. And then we'll do it. So, Catherine, what did you do for your project?
We did an AI one for helping like students find jobs.
Okay. What type of students?
Ones who were like freshly graduating and looking for like putting together like a resume and that sort of thing.
So you'll teach them. So your idea is to teach them how to prepare. You can use some of the AI to do interviewing. That'll be good. Add that you can teach the AI could do practice interviews. And this is for end jobs or for internships?
Mostly jobs, but I guess you could use it for either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe do it for internships. What year are you?
I'm a freshman.
So I think it'd be better for internships, really, because then you can relate more. You know, it's coming to you can use it yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll see how we go. Hopefully everybody can turn on their cameras. We can start. And were your grades posted? Yes, no, people looked? Luke, it was posted? Did you look? Okay, great.
The exam grades?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And there was a curve too? Did you see? Was that posted as well? Check. I thought it was. Was it, Luke?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Okay. So it's so you can see kind of the curve here. But a big part of your rest of the semester is with the project, and also I think is okay. So let me just start recording as people are coming in. Let me record to the cloud. I'm recording to the cloud. I want to live stream. Okay. All right. Questions? Okay, so can I have some people moderate the chat? Any volunteers? Okay, Ellie and Colin, thank you for being so kind. Okay, so hopefully I can be with you and my voice will stay on recording, so those people that were not able to join us today will be able to listen to the recording. So what I'm excited about today is having you think about our projects of being AI consultants, and I want to emphasize to you that I will be approving your proposals. I want you to think about your proposal as something that you actually can do and that you can learn from. So rather than the theoretical ideas in the book, I want us to actually be able to implement it and even go to companies and say, would you like something like what we've done for your own business? So that's going to be important for you, plus you'll get skills from it. So what I will do is go over what's required for the next week and for the rest of the semester. And then every week I will work with you on the project. I am a team member in each of your groups and we'll work together, and I'll hopefully be able, in this case, then Jordan, to give you feedback each week. And at the end, it should be in a good shape that we can then present it professionally and go with it. Any questions before I begin? Is there anything, Ellie, that I need to see in the chat or anything where I can start? Okay, and hopefully my voice will continue with me. So, let me share my screen. And Samuel and Nick and Max, turn on your, and Juan, turn on your cameras. And we can begin. So I'm going to share my screen. And in sharing my screen, I'm going to, everybody see my screen? Okay, great. So what's the first thing we want to check in every time, Luke, is what's due, right? So let me go to what's due section of our regular section of K. And let me just turn on my edit mode off so I see the exact same thing as you do. So in my edit off, you see today, before class, your first part of your project should have been submitted. I gave you cloud computing tech guide to complete in terms of the readings, your adaptive assignment of your tech guide, and also your quizzes. So this should have been done. I'll give you additional readings next week on cloud computing, but we're familiar, everything that we've been doing here, from YouTube to Blackboard to Notebook LM, have been using the cloud, so we're familiar with that. Next week, a week from today, I want to look at part 2, which is starting once I give you approval for your proposal. The next thing that I would like you to do is to create a website. As I stated in the past, I have an academic partnership with Wix where I have asked them to promote us to get the business plan. And let me just put that in my notes. For free. And we need a code that will give us that opportunity. Us a free upgrade. And then you'll be going to chapter 14, where we'll have a formal presentation of artificial intelligence, and I'll be giving you additional articles on that. And you'll do again the adaptive assignments and quizzes. And on the assignment for the next assignment for next Wednesday, where in this case, Luke, where would you find the assignment instructions for the final project part 2?
In the audit section?
Well, the instructions will be in the audit assignment instructions. So if I go to audit assignment instructions, you'll see then final project 2, you'll be able then to see that you're going to use Wix, and you'll then be, someone in your group will be then upgrading so all team members can use it and explore multiple Gen AI apps and launch a live website. So here is the instructions on the research to upgrade, and we'll go over this in a later time, but these are the examples. So before we do that part, we need to do then your proposals. So what I would like to do today is I'd like to go through all the groups, and I'd like to have a representative from each of your groups to discuss your proposals, and I will give feedback about your proposals. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to everybody go to your audit section. And in the audit section under assignment groups, I have group 1. So I see already, Catherine, this is your group. So you have 5 people in your group. If you have 5 people in your group, Catherine, 5 people then will have to concentrate on 5 different tools or versions of the tools for your project. So if I look at group 1, final project, I see that 4 people attended the meeting. Catherine, is that correct? So you will get credit for the 4 people that attended the meeting. And I see you have 2 different ones. So you want to tell me about these 2? Catherine.
I just did the name and mission statement, so I'm not sure.
So who did? Who knows more about this?
I can look at who did what. Luana did the AI tools and products, and then Julia did the target.
Okay. Okay. So, and how many of you are here today?
Not sure.
Well, look at participants, right? So you're going to need to get back with them to let them know what I'm talking about, so you can take notes, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so I see the first one is empower students basically to teach them about getting a job. So maybe for the first one, and what's the second one? Right, it's just job seeking. What's the difference between the first and the second? And are these products, are these free? Or are these free versions? So number 1, you can put this in your notes and everyone can put theirs in notes. For a proposal, each person needs to evaluate one AI product. So for at least for a time being, it has to be free. This is how I'm going to evaluate it. It has to be something that you can relate to. So, for yours, what I would suggest, and you can put this in your notes, and I want it by Friday by the end of the day, so I can run off, is basically you're going to help students prepare for an internship. And you may even focus in on business students. And you may then help them, which is good, help them enhance their resumes, conduct mock interviews. I like this. And use then, in this case, number 1, you have to talk about what tools are you going to use. And when you use those tools like ChatGPT or Gemini or using Call Annie or using any of the other AI tools, is talk about how they should be doing their prompts. And you may want to invite via Zoom possible recruiters and employers that they can tell you what are they looking for in terms of students with their characteristics and help. And maybe what you can ask the recruiters is what AI skills do they need? Did you get that, Catherine?
Yeah, I got it.
So that's how I want you to modify that by Friday.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so let's go to the second group. So my second group is group 2. I look in the final project, and it's Camellia, Ava, and Ellie. So Ellie, you want to tell me about this proposals?
I can tell you about it.
Okay.
Okay. So our first company is Lexi AI, and our mission is to help legal professionals adopt AI to improve legal research.
Okay, can I stop you right there? How many of you in the group know about this topic? Do you, Ellie?
How many of us?
Huh?
We all worked on it together.
I know, but do you know about legal research? Are you interested in that?
Well, it's just an idea we had.
Okay. So the difference between an idea is what I want you to do is something that you all have interest in and know something about. So that's why, okay? So that's not going to be, and what's the second one?
The second one is Global Path AI, and it helps international students navigate the U.S. job market by using AI tools to help them search for jobs.
Okay. So what I would change there, are you an international student?
No, but I mean,
right.
We would always like to help them.
Yeah, I know. But instead, what I'd like you to do with this part is I'd like you to help yourself as well. Do you understand? Okay. So let's just narrow it down. I like proposal 2, but just narrow it down for helping then international students. Instead of helping international students, helping regular students.
Okay.
And doing the same things, and you can use the same products, right?
Mm-hmm.
So rewrite that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So which group are we in now? So that was 2, okay. Lily, Francis, Jose, and Caitlin. Anyone here from that group? Group 3? Group 3. Is there anyone from group 3? Who's from group 4? Max, are you in group 4?
Yes.
Okay. Who else is in your group, Max?
We got Riley, we have Colin, and we have Greta.
Okay. And are any of these people here today?
I think Colin might be here. I'm not sure though. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So let's do that. So what's the first one, Colin?
Growth AI consultant.
Okay. And who's your target audience?
Like teams and small businesses.
Okay. And what's your second one? Okay, helping students AI for better learning. Okay, which one do you like better?
Probably the first one.
Okay. And do you have any experience with any of those?
Not really.
Okay. And why do you like the first rather than the second?
I don't know, I just find it more interesting.
Okay. So you're going to need to make a scenario of what type of small business are you going to help, and give an example of how specifically you're going to help them. And when you're using those products, actually then show how they're going to help. You can see like the dolly can help, right? And ask basically on your other ones on how you actually can actually show how they're used. So basically, then create that for I agree for proposal 1. I sign off on it.
Okay.
But you have to you can even do this in terms of you have to then assign and asking questions of all those products, which you have how many team members of all those products to show, okay? What they're going to be using, and show scenarios on how this can be done. So that's the only difficult part, is that you actually have to show how they work. Okay, group 5. So who's here from group 5?
Quinn and I are here.
Okay. So in group 5, so tell me. Oh, this is the wrong one, right? Okay, we have these. So what are the differences here? So help me just distinguish between the differences. So this is also marketing, and this is career. Which one do you like better?
I feel like the second one might be like more useful for us to learn about, but I feel like both of them are good ideas.
I like that one too. I'll approve the second one. But who is it for? Is it for, do you want to use it for jobs, general job searching? Or do you want to use it for internships? Which one?
I guess either, but we just wanted to target like college students.
Yes, for sure. So target the college students. I would say in college students. And what are your products? I don't see any.
Like for the AI products?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Career AI, Canva, and
so you have 4 people. So you have 4 people. You need 4 products.
Oh, okay. So I think we just need one more.
Okay, and then you can even look at a difference. And part of these could even be like the Chat GPTs. It could be even Gemini. Some of the other traditional products as well that you could ask them to do, and you'll have to show them how to do like a mock interview and all those. Are these other products have a free trial?
Yeah, I think all of them do.
Okay, so I approved number 2, just refine it, and I approve proposal 2. Okay, what group were you, Sydney? That was group 5. Okay, and 6 is Jordan, Lassa, and Michelle. Are you guys here?
I'm here.
Okay, so we got, all right. Who said that?
Lassa.
Lassa, okay, Lassa. So let me share Lassa, so you go over it with me, okay? Okay, proposals. So which one do we do? One is visionary consulting that does what?
The first one is meant for real estate agencies, and the second one is related to healthcare.
Okay. I like the real estate more than the healthcare, because everybody can buy something in real estate or rent something, right? Healthcare, it's harder. It's more complicated. So I like the first one on this one. So who's this for? Is this for brokers? Is this for real estate agents? Is this for buyers?
I would say it's more for agents.
Okay, so you have to state that.
Okay.
Okay, so one, you have to advise it, you have to state it that it's for then agents. And then basically you have to show, you want to list then 4 products and how the AI can help them with certain scenarios. Do you have 4 products?
Yes, we have 4.
What are they?
There's Zapier, ChatGPT, Zillow, 3D Home, and Reonomy.
Okay.
Oh, and virtual staging AI.
Okay, now, did they all have free trials? Great, so I would change it just a bit, and I approve proposal 1, and then put, when I've approved it, put next to it, approved by Dr. Rush, but you need to change specifically on who it's for, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And what other group do I have then? Okay, so that was which group? That was 6, a 7. Here, let me go